92 to 95 FM and BBC Radio Scotland on BBC Sounds. And both are live online at bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland.
On digital radio,
FM,
online at BBC Sport Scotland,
your smart speaker,
and BBC Sounds.
This is Sport Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
Scottish football lives here.
You're listening to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. The game's about to get underway. 5 games covered in the top flight for you this afternoon. 2 in the Championship. We have from Billy Dodds, Dundee United at home to Ayr United. Let's then get to Airdrie against Dunfermline. And there for us, Chick Young.
Yep, Kenny, I'm a good critic, as you know, of synthetic pitches. I have to say the Airdrie chairman, Paul Hetherington, has just taken me half an hour ago for a parade across the synthetic surface here at Airdrie, and I have to say, you know, throughout the country the big grassy pitch which will cut up, and it is in pretty good shape. The rain has been pouring down all morning, no doubt with the game. Dunfermline here, if Airdrie beat Dunfermline today, they leapfrog them into 4th place in the Championship table, into a playoff place. Big game for both sides. Gloomy day. Remember that Airdrie is the highest football stadium in the land, built on the 7 hills of Airdrie. 7 hills of Airdrie, 7 hills of Rome. Who would have thought they had something in common? But there you are. A magnificent prospect ahead of a football match. And I have to say, for all my criticism of synthetic pitches, and David Martindale has brought that up this week, I haven't had stroll across that, and the water on it will help the game this afternoon. The teams are just coming out as I speak, Kenny. Huge game, as I said, for both sides. I think privately most teams in this division will be giving up on the fact that it's a 2-horse race for the Championship between Dundee United and Raith Rovers, but 3rd and 4th place, 5 or 6 teams interested in battling out for that, and these 2 clubs, Airdrie and Dunfermline this afternoon, are certainly 2 of them.
Yeah, Rovers top after that fantastic win. Yeah, Chick.
Yeah, I must say, I've been told, and I haven't seen, well, I have seen a bit of Airdrie this season, to be fair, but they are raving about young Liam McStravick, who I think is 19. He's in the starting 11 for Airdrie this afternoon. Boy from Northern Ireland. I'm told he's known as the Belfast Messi, so no pressure then.
Airdrie just outside the playoff spots. Rovers top after that terrific win last night. You just fear, Alan, for your former club Livingston, could they be playing in the Championship next campaign? They're on a dreadful run of form, and so much going on at that club right now.
There is, Kenny, yeah, and you started off the programme with numbers. Last point, 30th September, 500 minutes without a goal, 12th in the league, 2 wins in 14, 3 points adrift, 6 straight defeats, and the last time Hibs came here they scored 4. So it's not looking good, but the off-field stuff has to get sorted out. And I heard Davey, for the first time in years, last week, or the week before, sorry, saying they're in a relegation fight. Normally he's quite bullish and comes out and said last year, as he did, we won't go down. Not saying that this year, but the off-field stuff needs to get sorted. It's been dreadful here for years.
When you look at the ownership issues, it's unbelievable. Court cases and power struggles and drama, feuding, rancour, bitterness. I mean, if they did a fly-on-the-wall drama of what's going on at Livingston at the moment and put it on the screen, it would make Succession look like a rom-com.
Since it started here, since they moved from Meadowbank out to Livingston, the drama started not long after that. They've been in administration so many times now. You know, Dominic Keane owned them, and then obviously the Italians came in after that. It just rolled from one person to another. It needs to have stability.
Some start at Tannadice, Kenny, was really an opener for Dundee United. United robbed in midfield. I talked about that area where United having an extra man in there. They drive forward. Eventually, Middleton just lays in Mockery. Hits the strike. It's kicked off the line for a corner. Good start.
Billy, what did you make of the return of your former managerial colleague Jim McIntyre to Arbroath? Decent move.
Yeah, it is, and back in the Championship, it's a good level to manage at. Spoke to him this morning, really looking forward to it. He's not had a lot of time with the players though, so we'll see how that one goes. He'll certainly structure them and get them organised and see if they can get a positive result today.
Kenny, we've got to say that game last night, one of the best of the season, and you know what never spoiled it? No VAR. It's magic.
I was getting a bit of VAR, unfortunately, later because I was saying through.
No, we're not. We're not, Kenny.
Do you want some stats? Just some stats.
Oh,
So
that's off. It's United scored, but it's offside.
yeah, there was a survey done by the Scottish Football Supporters Association, and what they did was they compared the fan reaction to VAR to what they got last season, and it was a decent sized poll, decent sized survey. So we're going to look at that later in the programme. The first goal of the afternoon, Annan Athletic 0, Cove Rangers 1. Ruben Burrell with a goal there on 3 minutes.
Was it a penalty?
No, it doesn't say that. No. Sorry. It took me a wee bit to get to where you're going with that one. Leanne, what do you think of Jim McIntyre returning to Championship football?
Yeah, I think it's a good appointment for Arbroath, albeit I was still surprised though that Dick Campbell departed in the time. I know he probably did feel a bit of pressure and maybe he decided to go before the club had to remove him. But there's been so much consistency and continuity at the club for so long, but a good opportunity I think for Jim to come back in. We know how disappointed he was. We've spoken about it on the show about his timing and his departure at Cove under the circumstances, how he felt he was going in the right direction and could have got more out of that group certainly. So I'm sure for Jim it's an exciting one to be back in the Championship. We saw last night exactly what you get.
What was that like being at that game last night?
Brilliant, honestly. So I actually thoroughly enjoyed the first half with just the one goal. I thought it was really good, entertaining football. Wraith Rovers are fantastic to watch this season. Partick Thistle, I didn't think they got to the levels that they can produce first half, but you can never predict it. You know, even
chance! Oh, he's missed it! What a chance for Dundee, and it's Lyle Cameron. The ball breaks to him on the edge of the box. He gets a little bit lucky as it ricochets back off him, and he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He's got to find the corner, and I don't know if Butland gets a touch, Leanne. Maybe you can see it. His corner's been given, but my goodness, he's got to score.
I think he gets a nick on it, Butland, definitely. But you're right, Rory, he's got to score. Gets the break of the ball. Rangers are so soft defensively. I think it's Balogun that jumps into the challenge. Lundstrom not strong enough either, and he's clean through and goal. Just tries to search for that far away corner, but he just doesn't get enough on it. Tries to be too acute, too precise.
Yeah, Rangers had started well as well, Leanne. They had a shot on target in the first 20 seconds. Cantwell found some space and fed it into Cifuentes, 20 yards out, centre of the goal, straight at the goalkeeper Carson, and they've had a corner since, but that's Dundee's first attack, and my goodness, they should be one up.
Right, some goals flying in. Annan have equalised very quickly at home to Cove. Michael Garrity on 5 minutes. Queen of the South are 1-0 up away at Montrose.
It's a goal! Goal for Dundee! And it looks like Bakayoko's got it. Defence is all over the shot from the corner. It comes back across the goal, and it's put into the net by Bakayoko, who runs away absolutely delighted. And Dundee take the lead here after 5 minutes. The last time they won here was in 2001. Claudio Caniggia scored that day. This day it's Bakayoko, and it's 1-0 Dundee.
Again, it's a poor goal for a Rangers perspective. Brilliant from Bakayoko, because he's doing what he's done all season. He's alive, he's alert, he's inside the penalty area, he's switched on to the second ball. Rangers have got so many blue jerseys in and around that area, Rory. Not one of them picks them up.
Yeah, and they're all looking at each other.
Might be very tight in terms of an offside, possibly. Just a different angle. We've seen it from there as the ball comes back in, although it came off Lundstrom.
It came off Rangers' head.
It should be good.
They lose the first header. Lundstrom heads the ball back behind him.
We've kicked off again, so there's certainly no check.
Right,
it's I mean the weakness just before for the chance, and for weakness at the back for Rangers is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a huge week, as we heard from Philippe Clement earlier in the programme. A big European game that is on Thursday evening, full coverage on Sportsnet, and of course the League Cup final against Aberdeen next Sunday. Queen of the South 1-0 away at Montrose. Lee Connolly in 4 minutes. Bournemouth ahead away at Manchester United. Dominic Solanke on 5 minutes, and confirmation that Bakayoko goal coming after just 5 minutes. Rangers 0, Dundee 1. Let's then get to a huge game at Pittodrie. What's happening, Willie Miller, in the early stages?
Well, it's huge for Aberdeen, but you wouldn't think it. It's been totally dominated by Hearts. You know, I'm expecting Aberdeen to come out and be really fired up for it, and to be taking the game to Hearts. It's Hearts that controlled the first 7 minutes of it. They've had all of the ball. If you're talking stats, then it's 90%, 10% I would suggest in terms of possession. No real chances or opportunities. I must say the weather is dreadful as well, pouring the rain, very windy. But Aberdeen, you know, trying to get the fans on your side, surely you've got to come out with a bit more intent. So the first 7-8 minutes or so have been disappointing for the home side. The Hearts have been in control of the ball, in control of possession. It really has to change.
Yeah, something is not right there, that is for sure. Let's then get to Paisley St Mirren against a resurgent Ross County there for us, Derek Ferguson.
Yeah, they've started pretty well, have St Mirren. Certainly the first 5-6 minutes, a couple of efforts at goal that were blocked. Small and Ayunga, but just all it takes, Kenny, is just and there's a little mistake, and it sets County on the front foot. They get a couple of hits at goal. Danda had a hit as well that was well blocked, and they've won a couple of corner kicks. So that good start has just disappeared a little bit. But you can tell there's nothing between these both sides, and I think the ploy today will be trying to get the ball forward. Like Kilty supporting Namani up top, now Ayunga, and the same as with County, Danda supporting White and Murray, and I mean that looks the most likely kind of tactic to get the ball forward as quickly as possible and see if those guys can do the damage. But a decent start, but probably St Mirren edging it slightly at the moment.
Let's then get to Fir Park, Motherwell at home to St Johnstone. What's happening in the early stages, Stephen Craigan?
Well, that's what I expected, Kenny. Both sides matching up, both sides going toe to toe and not really giving an inch, probably nullifying each other at this moment in time. Motherwell look a little bit nervous defensively when you think that Dan Casey's missing from the other night. Bevis McGabby and Shane Blaney get hooked at half-time when they were 2-0 down, and Stuart Kettlewell's had to go back to him this afternoon and put them back into the team. Stephen O'Donnell's a right wing-back, has been right centre-half, so it's a little bit disjointed. It's players, a couple out of position and a couple not feeling comfortable with where they are with regards form at this moment in time. But certainly under Craig Levein and Andy Kirk, St Johnstone are prepared to take the ball at the back. They're prepared to make more passes in the midfield, so it's not as direct from them, but it's a competitive game. Clearly in a day like today, if someone can get their noses in front, it could be a difficult one to chase down.
Stephen, you look at the comments that the manager has made, Steve Kettlewell has made yesterday and the day before. He says, I need to simplify this. I need to strip it back and simplify it, because at this minute in time, a lot of the detail that we are giving the players is not being processed. What do you think he means by stripping it back and simplifying it?
I would imagine you come back to a player and saying, if you're a defender and the ball comes into your area, you've got to head it or kick it. Because when you look at the goals that Motherwell conceded within their own 18-yard box, within 6 or 7 yards from their own goal, they don't win the first ball, they don't win second balls. They've been really, really soft and really easy to play against. So I'd imagine that message is probably towards his defenders, that you've got to give us a chance, guys. You've got to be prepared to do the things that defenders are built to do, which is to go and win tackles and go and win the ball. So I think there's three things that happen when it comes to it all. When you look at players, and Motherwell will probably have it all. Either the players don't understand what you want, so clearly as a player you have to ask what it is. You can't be bothered doing it, which is an individual problem, or you're not good enough. And I look throughout the team, and I think there's a sprinkling of all three things. And when that all comes together, you get a group of players who aren't good enough at this moment in time to find a way to win games of football. And I'm sure if Willie looks at Aberdeen, he may be able to say the exact same thing.
Stephen, can you give players too much information? Because you always hear
you can complicate it.
Yeah, and sometimes I think you've got to simplify it. And I think sometimes if you bombard them with too much information, their minds become a bit cloudy. Keep it as simple as, because
Derek, as a defender, you know what your job is.
Yeah, and again, it's about decision.
It doesn't matter what anybody gives you or tells you. You know what you have to do.
And don't ask your players to do something that they're not capable of.
Yeah.
Simple, clear instructions, not too many of them.
Explain this to me then. They've conceded 7 goals in their last 7 games, either directly or indirectly from corner kicks. What's that about?
Well, it's what I said, it's individuals, Tom. Yeah. If players don't want to go and head the ball, your goalkeeper doesn't want to come and take a punch or take a catch, then when you think you're plugging one gap or you think you're fixing something, someone else makes a mistake and their man scores.
What about the manager, though, Stephen? It could be the way they're set up for set pieces.
Yeah, Kenny, just come in there. Kenny, brilliant run from Ayunga from St Mirren. Yep. Driving forward, just gets on his left foot. Tell you, I don't think he can strike it any better. The only thing is, it's probably down the keeper's throat. Keeper pulls off a good save, but they've certainly looked more livelier, and it's a fantastic shot, great save, and St Mirren get the corner kick.
Queen's Park 1, Inverness Cally Thistle 0. Jack Turner on 10 minutes. What's happening in the early stages? Livingston against Hibs, Alan Preston.
Livingston have been a better side. They've come out flying out the traps. Hibs have not really had a kick of the ball so far within 11 minutes. And they're going to have to turn this place into the fortress that we know it can be, really, but it's kept them in the league in the last few seasons. The home form's not been great this season, but certainly at the start of this game they've been the better side. Hibs have just not found their feet yet in the torrential rain here at Livingston. 0-0, 12 minutes gone.
Smelly pressure, Billy Dodds for the home side at Tannadice.
Yeah, but I was just going to come in there, and United have really settled, and they won a corner. It was Aid McGeady who had drifted in the pitch, scored it on the left hand side. He's playing in the right, just opened up and put in a cross. It was blocked for a corner. But although I was like you, Kenny, I thought it was going to be an onslaught here. Dundee United going for it. Ayr have settled into this one.
And what's happening in your game, Airdrie against Dunfermline?
Yeah, it's a good start, I have to say.
Chance! It's incredible, booted off the line. Ross Docherty was caught in possession, and I think it's Fraser Bryden. They nick it here. He's through one and one with the goalie. He bends it round the goalkeeper. I'm not sure who got back in the line, but it was kicked off the line anyway. What a chance for Ayr.
Big moment there. What's happening, Chick?
Yeah, just reflecting, Kenny, and that news in Vanessa, the old manager of the month curse seems to have struck again.
Yep.
Anyway, it's all square here, still 0-0. Actually, end-to-end stuff, and you know, as I said earlier, this is it's bucketing down all day. This when a synthetic pitch does come into its own. Both teams using an advantage. It's slick. They're passing the ball very, very capably, I have to say. And right enough, the advanced publicity about Liam McStravick is. He's living up to it. He's a skillful little player, tremendous with comfort to win the ball, good dribbler, exciting to watch. No real goal-mouth opportunities, a couple of shots just beyond the post, but no goalkeeper really overemployed at the moment, and it remains Airdrie 0, Dunfermline 1-0.
Have you invested in an AstroTurf business?
Any thoughts how they could use it?
Any chance you recommend me anything, I'll stay away from it.
A goal in England, Wolves 0, Nottingham Forest 1. Harry Toffel with the goal there on 14 minutes. The lunchtime kick-off. It was a late winner for Liverpool away at Crystal Palace, beating them by 2-1. Here's a quick fingers in the buzz. There's apologies for those.
There, Kenny. There's another opportunity, not for St Mirren this time. It was County. Corner kick, whipped into that front post area, and you know it's difficult to tell from this angle where I'm sitting, but White clearly gets there ahead of the defenders, and I think if he just gets that in target, plenty of power on it, you know, should really be hitting the target. I think that was a really good chance, but difficult to tell from this angle.
Right, a quick quiz question. So first to shout out, apologies to those that are grounds where there's a slight delay on the line. So Jim McIntyre replaced Dick Campbell, who was the longest serving manager in the Championship, who is now the longest.
Petrie.
No, in the Championship.
Oh.
That silences lads, jumping in there.
Anyone?
Is it?
No.
Oh!
Alan.
It's a chance for Livingston there. There's a decent hit. Sean Kelly taking a deflection just wide of the target.
Lee Bullen is the second longest serving. That's the one. Well done, Dodds. He nails it. Took a while, right enough, but we got there in the end. What's then happening at Ibrox, Rory? Any sign of Rangers fighting their way back into this?
I mean, they've got the impetus about them. They're on the front foot, but it's just the quality that's lacking, I have to say. Barisic has had acres of space to drive into at times. He's put good balls into the box. Dessers doesn't help himself at times. He's moaning at everyone around him. I'm not quite sure why he's moaning. Down the other side, Matondo's ran at Donnelly a couple of times. I have to say Donnelly's defended magnificently well on a couple of occasions in 1v1 situations. Sima is taking a couple of bad touches out the pitch. Cifuentes has passed the ball out the pitch a couple of times and the crowd are getting on them, but you know there's a lot of enthusiasm and willingness. It's just a lack of quality from Rangers so far. Dundee have barely touched the ball since they scored, but they do still lead by 1-0, Kenny.
Rory, do you get them any chance, Rory, of clawing back Celtic?
I think given Celtic's record last season, under they only really lost games once they'd won the league, and the record this season they've not lost a game this season. I was getting round to it. My answer would be no. I don't see them.
Never a short story with you, Rory, but we need a yes or a no.
I don't think they'll go to Parkhead and win either. So yes, sorry for the long way around the houses, but I need to give the reasons as well. But
there's a line. There's a line in the Big
taxi driver.
There's a line in the Big Lebowski that talks about brevity. Talks about brevity. longevity, Rory. That's probably, have a look at that.
No, there you go, guys. No, I don't think they will catch
When
Celtic.
Kenny's looking for a break in here, Chicky just asked you a question.
Rory thinks this is a meter in the speech. You're getting an all-in fee. It's all-inclusive.
Change, Kenny. Early change for St Mirren. Yeah, Boyd Munce has been off with looks like some sort of muscle injury. Don't know where.
He looked quite frustrated, Derek, when he was coming off.
Yeah, you could see it. It's a little bit like Lawrence the other night. You could that kind of look, that just he wasn't going to be able to carry on. But Bacchus has come on to the field for St Mirren, so I don't think it weakens the side that much, to be honest with you.
Any sign of the home side?
Oh, it's saved! Oh, it's okay. It was a goal for Airdrie, but it's offside. Play on, carry on.
Any such excitement at Batorji, Willie Miller?
No, surely it's offside. There we go again. Honestly.
Elaborate. No, it's pretty lethargic here from both sides, but still the same kind of a pattern. Couple of shots to brighten things up a little bit. Lowry had one, but a very weak shot, and McGrath had one that was blocked just inside the box. Aberdeen are beginning to, come back into the game a little bit, but Hearts are still looking pretty slick. Slow build up from both sides, so we're not seeing end to end by any means. They're taking their time to build it up, but just from an Aberdeen point of view, I was expecting them to be much more fiery and much more determined to get the ball, win the ball first and foremost, not let Hearts dominate possession the way they have dominated possession, and get the ball forward early to their two strikers, but that just simply hasn't materialised. So very few opportunities, really no major chances. Some decent football played by Hearts in particular. 0-0.
How are the fans, Willie?
They're quiet. They're quiet. They're kind of sitting and waiting. They're hoping that Aberdeen can show a bit of something, a bit of desire perhaps, but they haven't seen it yet. So that's still got to come.
Kenny, first book in the afternoon.
And it's a goal to Hearts. It's a goal to Hearts at the back post.
You heard him now.
Who is it? Lawrence Shanklin.
Wow, that is
Would you
huge.
take him or Duke, Willie?
I think this season definitely.
You sure?
Oh, no, I'm positive, Alan. Honestly, I'm positive. You pick your moment, don't you? But I tell you what, I've got a long memory. Anyway, it's a goal. It's a goal.
Cyril Dessers has scored. He took one with his right foot, it deflected back to him off Portales, and he makes no mistake whatsoever with the other foot, lashes it high into the net to make it Rangers 1, Dundee 1.
Does it take a deflection, Rory? Does it go all the way in? It's a good strike, it looks with his left foot, but I wasn't sure just the height of the ball, if it maybe took a nick off a defender or not.
Did it? It looked to me like it went straight in, but quite possibly it did.
I'll get a second look at it, but he gets a lot of firepower behind it. A bit of venom, I think, behind that shot, to be honest.
Yeah, a bit of frustration and anger, I think. Yeah. He's not really been in the game, but made it count there.
Yeah, I'll get a replay of it just now.
On the Shanklin goal, it's from a corner.
Poor again,
the Aberdeen defending is so weak.
It's Shinnie though, I think, Tom. I think it's Shinnie at the back post who's marking him, but it's that usual stuff. They're not really watching the ball. Their mind's in trying to just grapple with players, and Shanklin gets a run on him. Shinnie's struggling to get back towards him, and at the back post, nobody on the back post either, and it's pretty simple. Kind of a stooping header that he manages to get. It's the back of the net, and Hearts deserve it. They've been the better team. They look far more hungrier than what Aberdeen look at this moment in time. It has to change. It really has. You were asking me about the fans. They will turn. They will turn very quickly if things don't improve.
I suppose they're the moments, isn't it, when you talk about simplifying instructions to players. Lawrence Shanklin, how many times this week will Aberdeen have spoke about Lawrence Shanklin inside the box, his type of movement, and then at a corner you lose him as easily as they lose him, and they don't pick up and they're not switched on.
I know you guys don't feel there'll be a change before next week's final, right? But if you're the chairman in there and the fans turn, there's AGM I think on Monday night, and you've seen this level of performance, are you not starting to think? No, not you said absolutely not.
Oh no, listen. I mean, if they lose this game, I don't think he'll lose his job. But I think Dave Cormack and the board will be thinking, okay, how long are we going to let this go on for? And should we start doing a bit of...
And you take a chance for the cup final with the way the team are playing under the cup manager.
I think Kenny, you also look at the fact that St John's and Ross County have both made managerial changes and it's both worked for them. I'm not saying, listen, I don't think he'll go either, but he may just think, you know what, if we get somebody new in, that it's going to have to be quick, because you can't go into a cup final surely with a caretaker manager in charge.
Tom, you seemed adamant that he would get into the new year as well.
Yeah.
Which is a big thing to make when Aberdeen haven't been winning games and they're 11th at the table, losing at home, cup final to come out of Europe. There's a lot of aspects there that have to dramatically turn around.
They do.
To allow Barry Robson to manage deep into next year, never mind even starting.
I would say deep into next year. I mean, obviously, Stephen, if this carries on, he's goosed. But I just think there is just from the mood music that I'm picking up in Aberdeen, they are not going to get rid of him just now. They're going to give him more time.
Chance off the bar. Oh, it's brilliant play from St Mirren. He's down at Namani down there, left hand side, whips it in. There's Kilty. The ball just skips up, doesn't try to hit it with power, just tries to guide it home, just comes off the top of the bar. Brilliant play from St Mirren.
In the next Cardiff have equalised away at Queen's Park. Max Anderson on 21 minutes. Bonnyrigg grows ahead against Peterhead. Kerr Young on 22 minutes.
Incidentally, I think that's Shanklin's 40th goal in 69 appearances for Hearts. Coming into this, he had 2 goals and 2 assists in 4 games against Aberdeen. So that's now 3 goals and 2 assists in 4 and a bit games. You might call him prolific.
He's a top striker. Queen of the South now 2-0 up away at Montrose. Alex Ferguson on 22 minutes. East 5 ahead at home to Elgin City. Brogan Walls also on 22 minutes.
Kenny, Dundee are going to be forced into a change here. Antonio Portales, I think it was at the goal actually, he's not managed to recover. He's going to come off. Jordan McGee will move into right centre back, and Cammy Kerr will come in at right wing back.
So the latest scores across the country this afternoon: Aberdeen 0, Hearts 1, Shanklin with a goal there on 20 minutes, Livy 0, Hibs 0, Motherwell 0, St Johnstone 0, Rangers 1, Dundee 1, Bakayoko for the wayside on 5 minutes, Cyril Densers on 20 minutes, and St Mirren 0, Ross County 0.
What are they looking at?
A shirt pull on Sima.
Oh, you're kidding. I didn't see it, and I don't think the players seen it.
Both players, I think, were at it. To be fair, these are the ones that I don't think you can really give, to be honest, because the defender is goal side. Both players are at it initially. Seema's up there. For me, it's not a penalty.
No, I'm just looking at it on the screen here as well. Actually, I managed to get one. Nah, there's not enough in that.
I don't think it does enough to really stop him.
Penalty kick.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
Wow.
Penalty kick, which...
Great analysis, and then he's going to penalty kick.
Somebody in the pub in Perth has won some money.
I mean, Stephen, you've spoken about, don't let your man score and do enough to stop. If you can't win the header, do enough to stop him scoring. There's contact between them both. There's no way there's enough in between the two players to sorry, the crowd are asking me to sit down, to give a penalty kick in that circumstance, in my opinion. I don't know if you had a look at Leanne properly.
It's never a penalty.
No, I don't think so either.
It's never a penalty. See the penalties that have been given this season, I can understand that when the defender is caught wrong side, they've got a handful of the jersey, and at no point can you really say how much it's impacted the player's ability to get on the end of it, right? When the defenders goal side like that, literally two players are trying to gain an advantage. For me, there's nothing in that at all.
I think as well, it's the reaction.
It's Murray. Just again, it's a pretty direct. The flick on, think it's wide.
Sorry, Derek Tavernier steps up. Goal! He goes to the keeper's right hand side. Trevor Carson goes to his left, and he tucks it home for 2-1 Rangers.
Cut across me any time, Rory.
No, I agree. I think the fact that nobody reacts, and I'm looking at that, and I didn't even think twice about it. It's just a challenge for the ball, and you could look at it and say, well, the defenders, maybe feeling that Seema's got above him and might score, so he tries to tug him back. There's just simply not enough in it to warrant a penalty in that circumstance, in my opinion.
It's grim. It's depressing. Like if this is what the game has come to, that's a penalty, then forget about it.
Dundee have had a few against them this season.
Tom, we keep saying this. VAR isn't the problem. It's the people in charge of it is the problem. They don't know the game. They know the rules. Yeah, I'll give them that, but they don't know the game.
That's a good point, Alan, as well, because sometimes I do feel sorry for referees because they are bound by the rules, but I don't see what rule Kevin Clancy's bound by there. It's just simply not a penalty.
Must have been in the VAR room searching for a penalty because you had no idea, Rory. I've looked at the corner coming in, I've no idea. We're looking at it back, we're both going, it's probably not a penalty. But yet, Stephen Kirkland has managed to convince Kevin Clancy to go to the monitor.
Kevin Clancy needs to be stronger there.
Yeah,
say,
absolutely.
No, we're not
100%.
having that. We're not. I'm not giving a penalty for that.
And this is where when they look at it and they review the clips, and even come a Monday when they look back in these fixtures, what is the discussion between the referees that they can look at that comparison and have it as a similar type situation to ones that have been given this season? Because it's not.
It's not.
But Leanne, once you
haven't seen a penalty like that given this season with the defender as goal side.
Leanne, so once they start searching for they'll find something.
Of course they will, Derek. I know.
Any infringement, and they'll call it.
There'll be a still image where there's a fraction of a millisecond of a jersey pull, and then they'll say, well, there you go. He had a hold of his jersey.
Leanne, was Sima going to get in the end of the ball?
No.
It was too high.
It was too high for him.
It was too high, and he might have got a slightly better contact on it, but it's not a clear goal scoring opportunity.
Can we notch that down as one of the bad ones that's wrong in the next 11 games when they're going to tell us then?
If only we knew how many it was the bad ones from. We don't know how many we don't know the sample size. Speaking of sample size, just the Scottish Football Supporters Association, they did just after VAR had come in last year, they did a survey. So 91% of supporters said the length of time taken with VAR to make decisions is an issue. 75% said VAR had reduced their enjoyment of football matches. 74% said refereeing performances have worsened. Another survey now, there's a decent sample size with 2,700. 95% of supporters said the length of time taken with VAR is now an issue, an increase of 4%. 86%, an increase of 11%, said it has reduced their enjoyment of football. 85%, again up by 11, said that refereeing performances have worsened since the introduction of VAR. And that's the point you've made time and again. I'm not just about the fans' enjoyment of it, but you've also said that it's a referee, it's not VAR.
No, and the thing is, for me, a referee's getting lazy because they've got VAR as a backup. They're not as sharp as they were. You know, that's the thing. And I look at it.
It should make them better.
Goal!
It should make them better.
For Hibs, and it's Martin Boyle. He just passes it into the net. It's Hibs, literally, Hibs' first chance at goal. Incredible. Livingston have had all the pressure, but Hibs go 1-0 up. It's a brilliant finish. It's a side foot pass across the keeper into the bottom corner. Livingston 0, Hibs 1, Boyle.
It's a good finish, Alan. Quite classy, actually, because he doesn't try and get too much on it. Just goes for a bit of accuracy and precision back across the keeper. Loads of bodies around him, right enough. Livy will be disappointed defensively.
Edinburgh City 1, Stirling Albion 0, Robbie Mahan on 26 minutes. Clyde are going to head home to Stranraer. Martin Rennie on 28 minutes. A Clyde manager Ian McCall choosing the music for us on Sports Sound the Zine, and that from 5:30. Some decent choices, I would have to say. So the latest scores in Scotland this afternoon, I can tell you that we've had plenty of goals so far. Actually, there's been lots of talking points, no doubt about that. So Aberdeen 0, Hearts 1, Shanklin with a goal, Livingston 0, Hibs 1, Martin Boyle with a strike there. Motherwell 0, St Johnstone 0, Rangers 2, Dundee 1, Bakayoko on 5 minutes for the Wayside, Cyril Dessers on 20, a controversial penalty award. James Tavernier stuck it away in 26 minutes. St Mirren 0, Ross County 0. In the Championship, Airdrie 0, Dunfermline 0, Arbroath 0, Morton 0, Dundee United 0, Ayr United 0, Queen's Park 1, Inverness, Cally, Thistle 1. In League 1, Alloa 0, Hamilton Accies 0, Annan Athletic 1, Cove Rangers 1, Edinburgh City 1, Stirling Albion 0, Falkirk 0, Kelty Hearts 0, Montrose 0, Queen of the South 2. In League 2, Bonnyrigg Rose 1, Peterhead 0, Clyde 1, Stranraer 0, Dumbarton 0, Stenhousemuir 0, East Fife 1, Elgin City 0, Spartans 0, Forfar 0. And in England, lunchtime kickoff, Crystal Palace 1, Liverpool 2, Brighton 0, Burnley 0, Man United 0, Bournemouth 1, Sheffield United 0, Brentford 0, Wolves 0, Nottingham Forest 1. What a game. 5:30 kickoff, Aston Villa at home to Arsenal. Let's then get back into the Championship. A big game there for you this afternoon, Billy Dodds at Tannadice.
Yeah, and United put on a bit of pressure, but they've only had one chance since the start of the game. They had the one that was kicked off the line, but it's all down that left hand side. Middleton had a great run, lovely cross hanging up for him, get in front of his man, flicked it, Albertson beating it, landed on top of the net. They're putting on a wee bit of pressure just now, but not enough chances in the game so far, Kenny.
Chance for Motherwell, Kenny. Callum Slattery, really good work. Tickled about the edge of the box, managed to get free, rolled the ball into Blair Spittle, left foot strike, comfortable save by Meathoff, but Motherwell will be encouraged certainly by that phase of attack.
Back into the Championship, check what's happening in your game, Airdrie against Dunfermline.
Yeah, it's still 0-0, Kenny, at the stage, though. I have to say, Nikolai Todorov has rattled the crossbar for Airdrie. At the other end, there was a chance for Dunfermline, and Josh Ray, I don't think he was even in an Airdrie postcode. He was so far from his goal, wandered away to the far side, but Dunfermline couldn't get the ball into net. I have to say, a posse of Airdrie defenders got back and denied the opportunity. It's a right good game. Some of the football is terrific and played, as I said. I'm not mentioning this surface again, because Arthur Daly Preston will try and sell me something. So it's a good game, and it's going. Either team could take the lead here, to be honest with you.
Wolves equalised at home to Nottingham Forest. Cunha with the goal there on 32 minutes. Let's then get back to Pittodrie. What's happening there, Willie Miller? Anything at all from the home side?
Yeah, they're coming slowly back into the game. Still, we've had a lot of booing around the stadium as well, but Neuenhoff there, it's just silly play. He's going nowhere. He's given away the free kick. It's Johnny Hayes that's taken it wide on the right hand side, giving Aberdeen the opportunity to cause Hearts some problems when he didn't really have to do it. Surely in that kind of a situation you play safe and you give away the throw in rather than the free kick. Johnny Hayes whipping it in, it goes short, and it's Clarkson. It just goes by the far post. A chance out of nothing for Aberdeen. I think that's I just think it's just daft play. When you're facing your own goal, you're under pressure and you're still trying to keep possession. I think safety first. You're 1-0 up. Neuenhoff gives Aberdeen their first opportunity, and it's Clarkson that just drills it by the far post.
Robert Thompson equalised for Stirling Albion away Edinburgh City. That's now 1 apiece. That goal coming on 33 minutes. Talk to us, Derek Ferguson, about what you see from this Ross County side. They've got a real. I think it's probably confidence, isn't it? I don't know as much.
Personnel. It's the same personnel.
It's also a change of style of play as well. Do you think, Derek?
Do you know? You just wonder about players, and there's a few odds on here always played, but is it a change of voice, a slight change of training that people get? Players have a spring in their step. Do they need that new voice? But when will that start taking a go the other way? You just wonder about players, because there isn't different personnel. There isn't really a kind of different shape about County. They're still defensively quite sound, quite workmanlike. Yeah, they've got a real threat up top, but they have been dangerous in this game. But it just kind of, sometimes it baffles me, and I try to think back when I was a player, and at times when...
What's a goal? What a magnificent header. I think it's Sima again who notches for a third game in a row. Tavernier's corner comes straight in, head and shoulders above everybody, and bullets it into the back of the net for 3-1 Rangers.
It seems to be working today, doesn't it? Rory cuts across me and Rangers score.
That's a brilliant header. Great delivery, outswinger. Sima's up, very good in the air. A lot of power on it. Goalkeeper had no chance, Tom. I don't know if you have a look at that as well.
I thought it was, he could hardly have kicked that any harder. That was just a rocket off his head. Brilliant finish. Absolutely brilliant. From a player who's, he's 13 goals for the season now. That is an unbelievable header.
I tell you what, Tom, he's effective, but he's not always easy on the eye. Some of his touches don't look great at times, and sometimes I don't think he knows what he's going to do with the ball, but my goodness, his goal return has been phenomenal.
His goal return is incredible.
Just as well he scored, because there was a slight shirt pull there.
Oh my goodness, no, we couldn't take that. Stranraer have equalised away at Clyde. Craig Ross on 34 minutes. Queen of the South absolutely cruising away at Montrose. 3-0 up. Alex Ferguson with the latest goal there. Cove Rangers back in front away Anne in a second of the game for Ruben Burrell. That on 34 minutes. 2-1 they lead. A big goal in the Championship. Arbroath 0, Morton 1. Lewis McGrattan with that goal on 37 minutes. Of course, Jim McIntyre appointed as manager of Arbroath this week. Still time, of course, to turn things around today. That's a disappointing start for them at home to Morton. Two sides that are struggling this season. Let's then get to Livingston against Hibs. Alan Preston, a real body blow for the home side with that Martin Boyle goal.
It is, and it was Hibs' first effort at goal, Kenny, in 29 minutes. Really good finish from Martin Boyle, but since then Hibs have came out and they're starting to play. Boyle's a threat up front, Vente's up with them, and they've got real pace in the wider areas. Johan one side, and I just see a beater going down the left as we speak. We had another shot. Hibs, Tavares had a good shot from a tight angle. George beat it out. Really good save. But this first goal here today was always going to be crucial. Livingston, for me, had to get it. Now they're on the back foot and 1-0 down.
What's happening at Fir Park, Stephen Craigan?
Not a lot, Kenny. There's plenty of effort and plenty of determination from both sets of players, but there's a real lack of quality once the ball gets into the final third. There's no real finesse. It's just kind of throwing it forward, and both sets of strikers are working ever so hard, but they're not getting a lot of support
Here's
from
a
midfield.
chance. Here's a chance. Is it? Oh, what a save that is. It's a Younger. He's just in that inside left channel, busting into the box. Tell you what, I don't think he can do any better. He hits it hard, low across the keeper. It just gets a left hand to it. It comes off the ground, spins agonisingly over the bar for the St Mirren supporters.
Sorry, Derek, to cut across you.
Keep going.
Dundee have got the ball in the net at Ibrox. I mean, I think they're checking for offside. If it's not offside, I'm 90% confident that Jack Butland will get a free kick, because Bakayoko runs and wipes him out, to be totally honest with you. So just to let you know that the ball is in the net for Dundee, but I don't think it'll count.
Oh, the keeper nearly had a shocker here, Albinson. He rolled it, he thought he was giving it to Silla, and Ross Docherty just reads it first.
No goal.
But he's 18 yards out, he hits the shot. Somehow Albinson's got back and saved it, but what a chance.
It's a goal. Dunfermline have taken the lead. I have to say, I'm down the far end of the pitch. Get your excuses in early. Ball is in the back of the net. I can't identify the score at the moment, Kenny, but it's certainly 1-0 to Dunfermline against Airdrie here. And Airdrie looking very disgruntled about that, but the goal will stand. It's 1-0 the Pars.
Yeah, the Pars currently occupy the last of the playoff spots, just ahead of Airdrie. So a big goal there for James McPake's side. Leanne, just want to touch on the women's national team. A hugely disappointing stroke embarrassing result midweek. You were at the game. I want to speak about the manager, but in terms of the performance, what are your thoughts?
It was tough, a tough watch. Been in those games as well over the years, up against top opposition, but I just felt Scotland were pretty
Sorry,
pretty
Leanne,
naive.
can you check this out? Sorry, there's a penalty shout at Livingston. Well, the referee's not giving it. The player is absolutely adamant he was caught in the box.
Guthrie, I think it is going mad.
Guthrie, he's going crazy.
Hopefully get a replay of it.
It's up the far end for me. Didn't look it to me, but he's still at this moment complaining to the referee. It will be checked, obviously.
Based on his reaction, I would give him it, because he's very, very convincing. Nah, I don't think it's a penalty. Comes from behind him, Biscuits, a slight bit of contact. I think it's maybe Joe Newell.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like there's really
given.
any contact with his feet or his legs. It's almost just a bit of body contact from behind, and he goes to ground. Not a penalty for me.
No, not
that
given.
Could be proven wrong again.
No, not at all.
The Scotland game the other night. I thought Scotland really naive, just certain moments switching off. A couple of probably debatable personnel choices in there as well, if you want to speak about the manager. A really disappointing campaign and a tough watch at certain points, but I feel for the group, I feel for the players, because it's just a lot of the same ones that are turning up, giving absolutely everything that they've got, but whatever it is, it just doesn't feel right now, it doesn't look right. And I would love to know what the basis was for the extension of the contract, if I'm being perfectly honest. We speak about it in the men's game constantly. A national team manager's job is to get you major tournaments, and so far there's not been any signs that that's going to happen. There's already been a failed campaign, and he's got another 3 years to sit on.
It was a tough group.
Kenny, just to say that goal was scored by Josh Edwards. It was McCann just brought the ball across, and it was Josh Edwards who got the ball over the line. So it's 1-0 to the Pars at Airdrie.
It was a tough group, wasn't it?
It was, it was. But I still think, based on the group and what it looked like, and even just other games throughout his tenure as well, I just don't know if there's enough there now that you can. There's been a change in identity, there has, and I know you lose players like Caroline Weir and Emma Watson in the last 3-4 months. It's a sucker punch to the group, but I just don't know. It almost feels like it's a project, and it shouldn't be a project. The reality is you've got the ability to still choose the best 23 Scottish international players that are available to you. It's not about offering players an opportunity in game time and looking to try and build. It almost feels like a club environment that's been created. It's not. It's international football. The windows and the times that you spend together are very, very short. It has to be effective. It's about tactical information and being really well drilled and hard to beat. And I don't know if I tick enough of those boxes now when I watch them.
Your opinion, Leanne, is he picking the best squad then?
Probably not, because it's took him 3.5 years to bring Hayley Lauder back into the fold, Alan, and she's been captain in Glasgow City and winning titles and playing in the Champions League for 3.5 years. So if that was, looking back, if there was a player like that, of that ilk, that wasn't making it into Steve Clark's squads, even the likes of Lauren Shankland, how much we advocate for him to be part of the group, and why we've even questioned Steve Clark. That's probably the only player that springs to mind, but if that player wasn't included, there would be huge questions asked, and the fact that the group are not winning and you're not bringing a player like that in baffles me.
Why do you think he did get it? Is it 4 more? It's 2027, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why?
No, it's Ibrox, Tom. But I mean, the referee blew the whistle about 5 minutes before it hit the net. It's a free kick to Dundee in the middle of the pitch.
Right, okay.
What do you think is the rationale?
No idea. I think it's just, I don't know if it's been off the back of the men's team being successful and looking to try and offer a bit of stability to both national teams.
But the failure against the Republic of Ireland was probably a bigger failure than the one for the Nations League, right? That was a colossal failure at Hampden against a team that Scotland are probably better than.
Yep.
And yet they get on the back of that dismal performance, they give him a contract, a new contract.
That's a bit for me, and there's probably not enough questions asked, to be honest, about it. You know, people just will accept it and go on with it, but it was a tough watch the other night for sure.
Clyde are back in front at home to Stranraer. Liam Scullion with a goal on 42 minutes. Falkirk ahead at home to Kelty Hearts. Aidan Nesbitt on 41. And another goal for Queen of the South. 4-0 up away at Montrose. Lee Connolly with a goal there. Very poor in the league. Of course, had that fantastic cup win against Dundee United. The penalty shootout. We brought you that on Sports. But Montrose 0. Queen of the South 4 in that league game this afternoon. Let's then get back to the game at Pittodrie, Willie Miller. We gave this one the big build-up in terms of the importance to Barry Robson, the importance to these Aberdeen players. They've got a cup final next weekend, and you weren't impressed what you saw early on there.
No, they started really slowly, but the last, I would say, 10 minutes, 15 minutes perhaps, they've come back into the game. They're showing a certain amount of energy that you'd have expected right from the very start of this game, Kenny. And I can't understand why they didn't start at a high tempo, and even just bin the possession of the back three, even although they're left with loads of time to have possession. Get rid of that. It's what the fans want. The fans want something to be able to give them hope that this team are capable of turning results around, and they didn't give them that in the first 15 minutes or so, but slowly they have, and I think led impeccably by Graham Shinnie. Graham Shinnie's, although maybe was at fault for the goal, he's reacted really well. He's all over the place. He's contesting every decision from the referee. He's playing his part as a captain, and that have seemed to inspire him. It's simple stuff. It really is simple stuff, but that's what they need just now, and for the last 15 minutes or so they've been on top, but they haven't really fashioned a clear-cut opportunity.
Willie, what do you think the fan expectation will be if they don't win today ahead of the cup final?
Shazo! Livingston are all over the place at the moment. Two of the back four are pushing up, the other two are dropping off.
Oh wow.
It's played into Venti, quickly turns and hits it with his left foot. He's got to do better. Hits it across the keeper wide of the target.
Off the
what a
crossbar
chance
from James Tavernier. He tries the cheeky little chip from the edge of the box, and Carson scrambling back, and it hits the... Well, Rangers are wanting another penalty here for... Dessers is saying handball. Andy feels he was pulled. Have a look. It was a really good move from Rangers. A few chances in the one, but the chip from Tavernier was the pick of the bunch. It was a good save from Carson from Cantwell as well, early in the move, and Rangers piling on a bit of pressure.
Half time, Kenny. I don't know how. It's St Mirren now, Ross County now.
Thanks, Derek. I'm just trying to look at this again here, Leanne. So first effort's blocked.
That's not a handball if that's what was potentially a handball.
No, I think it's when he came back in, Dessers was pulled, wasn't it?
Yeah, there's a bit of body contact again. Probably more of a penalty, to be fair, than the last one. Nice effort for Tavernier, right enough. Rory just getting a look at that wee clip to the back post off the bar.
So here we are here.
Yeah, he's backing in, bit of contact.
Nothing in that, is there?
Nah.
Nope.
No.
I was feared not to mention it after last time.
The two of them are...
Shaughnessy actually nearly puts it in the back of his own net. No, nothing in it. But sorry, Willie, on that with the fans, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think the cup final is the game that they'll then look to. If they get beat today, that is. I think Barry will still get the cup final. And if you win a trophy here, surely it gives you a little bit more time. There's still plenty of games left in the season. The pool is strong enough. But if you're not getting results, then the pressure just keeps piling on. They've came back into this game, because the way they started it, I thought if they continue to play like that, then the crowd will turn, and they were turning. There was a lot of boos going around the
half-time at Tannadice 0-0.
The stadium as well. So I think Barry will definitely get the cup final if he can win that, and I think we all think that he's got a chance of winning that, even though some of the performances haven't been particularly good. But some of the performances in Europe have been good, so they can produce it. But they just don't produce it enough.
Brighton 0, Burnley 1, Wilson Audebert on 45 minutes. Half time to Barton 0, Stenhousemuir 0, Derek Taylor is half time, St Mirren 0, Ross County 0, Stirling Albion in front away Edinburgh City, Jack Leach in first half stoppage time. Half time Falkirk 1, Kelty Hearts 0, half time Clyde 2. Thanks to Stephen Craig in there. Clyde 2, Stranraer 1. That's a half time scoreline, as is Spartans 0, Forfar 0. That's just confirmed. Half time Edinburgh City 1, Stirling Albion 2. Booze somewhat.
You know where it is, Kenny. Come on. I don't have to tell you. Half time at Pittodrie. Aberdeen 0.
Go and get your pie, mince.
And by the way, it wasn't a case of Duke or Shanklin, right? It was Duke last season good enough to play in the Hearts side?
Hearts play one up front. So it's Shanklin or Duke and Hearts formation.
No, they're not playing one up front this afternoon.
Who are they playing? Who's up with them?
They're playing Vargas up with Shanklin.
All right, okay, one up, one off then.
Right. Arbroath 0, Morton 1. That's a half-time scoreline. East Fife 2-0 up against Elgin City. Nathan Austin in first half stoppage time there. Half-time Montrose 0, Queen of the South 4. Stephen Tellingham, Motherwell 0, St Johnstone 0, Bonnyrigg 1, Peterhead 0. Half-time scoreline. Also half-time Queen's Park 1, Inverness, Cali, Thistle 1, Dundee United 0, Ayr United 0. Annan 1, Cove Rangers 2. That is also a half-time scoreline. East Fife 2, Elgin City 0. And that half-time Willie gave us just coming through now. Aberdeen 0, Hearts 1. So we are still playing at Ibrox, and a player down there, Rory, just looking at the screen now.
Yeah, it's Bakayoko. It was a potential counter-attack from Dundee, and I don't know, he's been caught. It wasn't particularly near the ball at the time, so it's difficult to say what's happened. He's holding his toe at the moment, or his ankle, so he's just getting some treatment there on the field. Dundee have actually, played pretty well at times in this game. Luke McCowan stole the ball in midfield at one point. Cifuentes has been booked actually for the tackle, so he must have caught him.
Half time at the Tony Macaroni, Livingston 0, Hibernian 1.
And Luke McCowan ran through. John sort of slipped and he was at an angle. He wasn't quite one-on-one, but you'd fancy Luke McCowan to do better than he did. He dragged it wide, and Bakayoko had a free header as well. So they've not been short on opportunities, Dundee, but find themselves 3-1 down, right on the cusp of half time, but not quite yet.
Still playing your game, Chick?
We are. With the couple of injuries in the first half, the goalkeeper needed extensive treatment. That's the Dennis Mehmet, the Dunfermline goalkeeper. There's a couple of knocks as well. So this game has dragged on a bit. Good first half. Remember, it's 1-0 to the visitors, Dunfermline. The goal coming after 38 minutes. Josh Edwards.
Is it a possible red card?
No, Kevin Clancy's come to the screen now. I did see a shirt tug in the box. I don't know who it was.
I think, is it not the Cifuentes yellow card they're reviewing for a possible red?
Oh yeah, it is, you're right. It's just popped up on the screen there.
He overruns the pass and he overstretches and he catches Bakayoko. I think he catches him in the inside of the calf while Bakayoko's on the grass.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of a, I don't know if it's intentional, but it looks like a bit of a stamp. We're all kind of.
It is a stamp. I mean, the ball was.
Oh yeah, he does catch him in the knee.
You could see red for this, but there's not a lot of force. There's not a lot of intent.
Yeah, he's trying to. I think what he's trying to do is
Tom at the end.
I think he's trying to get his foot round Leanne. He's trying to get his foot round the leg.
Look, he takes a pure touch. He's overstretching, but for me, it's a yellow would. The fact the ball was there, Tom, I think initially that yellow, I think for me is okay.
I think a long look.
That's half time.
I
think
it was quite harsh.
He's back onto the pitch.
Well, yeah.
And the yellow is out the pocket, which suggests to me that it's going to be cancelled out. No yellow card, red card, off the pitch. Cifuentes sent off. Clement, a bit animated in the touchline. He's not happy. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Right.
I know.
You're not.
I'm not. Look, it's just. There's going to be moments as a footballer you don't get it right, and I don't think he's followed through. I think yes, there's contact, but for me, I'm not seeing a lot of force. There's not a lot of intent.
I think he's made two bad mistakes in this half. This referee.
Yeah. No, I'd agree.
Penalty in the red.
Kevin Clancy.
Certainly a few bits for the guys to chat over tonight on Sports Team, no doubt.
Absolutely.
Cifuentes has been quiet as well. Sorry, Tom. Lundstrom has ran the midfield, and Cifuentes hasn't really been involved too much. Obviously, doesn't deserve to be sent off necessarily, but been pretty poor as the players leave the pitch.
Story of his Rangers career.
Yes.
Rory.
Yeah, agreed. That's half time.
And he's the one that the previous manager said would take them to the next level. If you remember when he signed him, Cifuentes, but he's been very, very disappointing.
past manager said that have turned out to be not great.
No, there's no doubt that Philippe Clement has...
It's a euphemism.
Yeah, he's done a lot right, hasn't he, Philippe Clement? He seems to have something about him.
Yeah, no, he does, yeah. He's improved them, for sure. And, he hasn't had a chance, obviously, to sign a player yet. It'd be interesting if and when he gets that opportunity, what type of players he brings in. There's not a lot of money at Rangers. They're going to have to move a lot out if they can in January, and there's plenty to move out. And Cifuentes, I'd say, is one of them if they can't get a taker. That's the problem. These guys are on big money. They're not going to be in a rush to leave Rangers on the big contracts that they're on. They've overspent on them, and the transfer fees that they have spent, they've overspent, and the wages, I think they're overspending as well, from the information that I'm hearing. So there's a lot to do there. But I think they have made a good appointment in Clement, for sure.
And something I know you want to bring up in the second half of Open All Mics, the amount of Scottish players getting game time this season in the top flight. So we'll get to that shortly. Plenty more to come on sports. And a reminder, we're with you right through until 7 o'clock.
Football from Sports Sound.
Brilliant drop of the shoulder! From BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
On BBC iPlayer,
This is DCI Silva.
the award-winning series Vigil returns. Murder at a military airbase.
Take cover! Medic!
This is tantamount to an act of war.
And a brand new investigation.
What evidence do you even have?
I have enough.
Starring Suran Jones
I love you.
and Rose Leslie.
Come home, please.
Vigil starts tomorrow on BBC iPlayer.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. A commentary match this afternoon comes from Ibrox. No shortage of talking points there. Liam McLeod.
Yeah, well, you've not been talking about the video assistant often enough, Kenny. That's the problem. And you're going to be talking plenty about it. You probably have been, because Rory will be keeping you up to date and you'll have seen it yourself. Two controversial VAR interventions here. I'll talk about them in a moment. But the goals, though, Dundee taking a sensational lead through Bakayoko earlier on. That after a wonderful save from Jack Butland to deny Lyle Cameron. From the resultant corner, the ball came off Lundstrom's head. It dropped Bakayoko's way and he pushed it past Jack Butland to give Dundee the lead. They haven't won here since 2001, but it's a long way back for them. In 20 minutes, Cyril Dessers scoring, as he did against Dundee at Dens, as he notched his 7th goal in a Rangers shirt, flashing it into the top right corner after his initial effort was blocked. And then came the first VAR intervention, James Tavernier stroking home the penalty. That after Donnelly was adjudged to have fouled Sima. We've seen it recently. We've seen it in Rangers games recently. The Jersey pool. We saw it against Hearts here. We saw it against Aberdeen at Pittodrie. Once again, VAR intervened. Penalty was given for a pull by Donnelly on Sima. Tavernier did the rest for his 13th goal of the season, re-establishing himself as top scorer for Rangers this season. But it didn't last long. 9 minutes later, Tavernier with the corner, Sima with the bullet header to make it 3-1. And he too joined Tavernier on 13 goals for the campaign. Then just on the stroke of half-time, in stoppage time in fact, another VAR check. Jose Cifuentes was initially yellow carded for a foul in Bakayoko. The ref was told by Stephen Kirkland, the VAR, to come over and have a look at it. He upgraded yellow to red. The studs were on top of the ankle. Kenny Miller beside me couldn't believe the decision. He felt there was a soft penalty as well. But one thing's for sure, nobody can begrudge Rangers their lead at the break. And the only annoyance for Philippe Clement will be that it's only 2 goals.
Plenty of talking points there. No doubt about that. Let's then get to Pittodrie. Willie Miller is there for us. Aberdeen against Hearts.
Yeah, horrible conditions here. Rain still pouring down. The surface is very slippy. And the fans were expecting Aberdeen to come out of that tunnel full of fire and determination and drive. They certainly didn't get it for the first 15-20 minutes or so. So much so that the fans let it be known by booing the home side on a number of occasions in that first 20 minutes, and then more so when Hearts actually took the lead from a corner right hand side. Alec Cochrane curls it in towards the back post. Shanklin loses Shinnie in the box and he stoops, diving header to put the ball into the back of the net to give Hearts a lead. And at that point they thoroughly deserved it. They were in control of the game, but slowly very slowly Aberdeen got themselves back into it, gave themselves a shake, realised the importance of this game and started to dominate that possession. They haven't had any clear-cut chances, but McGrath has had a shot from outside the box. It was well blocked. Clarkson from a free kick, a Hayes free kick at the back post. He drilled it, unluckily for him, just drove by that back post. And Shinnie had a long-range effort as well, again, the other side of the post this time. And when you look at it in the first half, not a good enough start for Aberdeen. Certainly, disappointing from their point of view to see Shanklin score. But since that 20 minutes, they've taken a little turn to themselves and they've turned the game around a little bit. And at least the fans have hope. But as far as Hearts are concerned, they're delighted. They go in at half-time with a 1-0 lead.
Thank you to Willie Miller. Let's then get to Paisley and hear from Derek Ferguson. St Mirren against Ross County.
Yeah, no scoring, Kenny, at half-time, but it has been a good watch, really competitive. The home side started well, pushing County back, created a couple of good opportunities, but they were well blocked by a solid County defence, that coming early on. But St Mirren, they continued to go at it, looked more likely, and we were so close to taking the lead in 24 minutes. It was good work from Namani down the left-hand side, finding Kilty with his cross. He's only 12 yards out, elected to take it first time, but his strike just coming off the top of the bar with the keeper stranded. County, well, they were working their socks off, as you would expect, and created a great chance, going a little bit more direct. That one coming in 27 minutes. It was White with the flick on, finding Simon Murray running in behind a static St Mirren defence, but Murray dragging his shot just past the post from a tight angle. But there was a determination about this Buddies side, and they were again so unlucky not to take the lead. Ayunga bursting into the box with that power, the pace, and his shot was brilliantly saved, got to say, by Laidlaw to deny Ayunga a goal. That coming in 39 minutes. St Mirren continued to probe towards the break, but County stood strong. So finally poised this one, Kenny. St Mirren 0, Ross County 0.
Thanks, Derek. We heard from the Livy manager, Davy Martindale, ahead of kick-off, and his concerns for all that's going on at the club. There at home to Hibs this afternoon, and there for us, Alan Preston.
Well, they find themselves at half-time, Kenny, 1-0 down, and actually started the game the better side, had a lot of possession in that opening 30 minutes, and Sean Kelly with a deflected effort just wide is all they really had to show for it. Hibs then started to grow into the game and adjust to the conditions, and they took the lead in 29 minutes. It was a ball played into the box and it was onto Martin Boyle, and it felt with his right foot, and you think he's going to blast it. No, he doesn't. He side foots it across the keeper George into the bottom corner for a wonderful finish, and that really woke Hibs up. That was their first shot on target. Tavares then had a hit well saved from George from a tight angle. Then a Boyle free kick was swung to the back post. There was Hanlon with a header just wide. And then just before half time, Venti found himself in the box, 1-on-1 with the keeper. He hit across the goalie just wide of the target. Half time score, Livingston 0, Hibernian 1.
Big game at Fir Park this afternoon. Motherwell against Johnston. There for us, Stephen Craigan.
Yeah, and I've got to say, Kenny, it hasn't been a great game. It has the feel about it that it's two teams around the bottom of the table struggling for form, hoping to get away from trouble, hoping something will fall away, because there's been no real flow to it. There's been misplaced passes, there's been longer balls overhit, there's been a real lack of quality throughout the game. I think it's going to take someone in the second half to step up and take a little bit of a risk, try and make something happen, because there's been very little goal-mouth action. Blair Spittle had a tame shot with his left foot that was easily saved by Mitov, and right on half-time, Jai Shima down the left-hand side fizzed the ball across goal. Chris Keane couldn't get in the end of it. He may just have got a touch, but there's too much power, and that probably sums up the first half. Players not been good enough, haven't brought enough to the game. Let's hope in the second half someone takes that risk and brings this game to life. Who it is, I have no idea who it will be, but half-time it's Motherwell 0, St Johnstone 0.
Let's dip into the Championship then, where Dundee United are playing catch-up there at home to Ayr United. Billy Dodds.
Yeah, it's been mistakes and misses so far in this one, Kenny. First minute, it was a strong start for United. Ayr were robbed in midfield. Middleton set up Mockery, and his shot was somehow kicked off the line. Into the 12th minute, Ayr had their chance this time. Docherty was robbed at the edge of his own box for United this time. Bryden thought he'd done everything right, bent it past the goalkeeper Walton, but his effort was somehow kicked off the line by Holt. Midway through the half, great run in the left by Middleton. There's been a lot coming down that side. Lovely cross, found Fodham, whose header looked over Albinson, but it landed on top of the net. 7 minutes before the break, Albinson, this time it was his turn, short with a pass out from a goal kick. It was robbed. Docherty thought he was rolling into an empty net, and somehow Albinson get back to scramble tackle it and save it and push it away. Airdrie had an effort that flicked just narrowly wide by Dowds, and in a stroke of half time another Middleton cross from that left hand side found Fotheringham, and somehow the miss of the match, he slapped it wide. What a miss it was. Half time and stalemate at Tannadice. Dundee United 0, United 0.
Thanks, Billy. We're also covering Airdrie against Dunfermline there for us. Chick Young.
Airdrie 0, Dunfermline 1. The only goal of the first half came from Josh Edwards, 38 minutes in the clock. It was a fine finish. He was set up by Lewis McCann, and then Dunfermline playing an unfamiliar all-blue strip just took the lead there. I think Airdrie a little bit unlucky. They hit the crossbar in that first half. Was an effort from Nikolai Todorov. They played a lot of good football. Excellent performances by particularly Liam Mistravik in the middle of the park, getting forward and supporting Todorov up front. Good football on the surface from both teams. Interesting game. I don't think this is over. Half time though it is. Airdrie 0, Dunfermline 1.
Thank you. Also in the Championship this afternoon, Airdrie 0, as Chick said, Dunfermline 1, Arbroath 0, Morton 1, Billy telling us Dundee United 0, Ayr United 0, Queen's Park 1, Inverness, Cali, Thistle 1. In League 1, Alloa 0, Hamilton Accies 0, Annan Athletic 1, Cove Rangers 2, Edinburgh City 1, Stirling Albion 2, Falkirk 1, Kelty Hearts 0, Montrose 0, Queen of the South 4. In League 2, Bonnyrigg 1, Peterhead 0, Clyde 2, Stranraer 1, Dumbarton 0, Stenhousemuir 0, East Fife 2, Elgin City 0, Spartans 0, Forfar 0. In England full time, Crystal Palace 1, Liverpool 2, Brighton 0, Burnley 1, Man United 0, Bournemouth 1, Sheffield United 1, Brentford 0, Wolves 1, Nottingham Forest 1. So once again, a choice of listening on Sports, and for live commentary from Ibrox, where Rangers are playing Dundee. Tune to BBC Radio Scotland Digital, 810 medium wave, and BBC Radio Scotland Extra on BBC Sounds. For Open All Mics, you'll find that on 92 to 95 FM and BBC Radio Scotland on BBC Sounds. And both are live online at bbc.co.uk/Sport Scotland.
On digital radio,
FM,
online at BBC Sport Scotland,
your smart speaker,
and on BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
Welcome back to Open All Mics on BBC Radio Scotland. Lots of drama in the first half there. My goodness, what a big goal at Pittodrie. Lawrence Shanklin with that on 20 minutes. So Willie telling us Aberdeen have got better as the game has gone on. We discussed the future of Barry Robson pre-match. We heard from him. He sounded very cool, very calm ahead of this huge game this afternoon. Livingston, we heard from David Martindale talking about all that's going on at the club right now, how difficult it is, and it's difficult on the park this afternoon, albeit they don't deserve to be behind. They are 1-0 down at home to Hibs. Motherwell nil, St Johnstone. Again, we heard from Stuart Kettlewell, 12 games without a win prior to kick-off this afternoon. Dundee got a terrific start at Ibrox. Bakayoko on 5 minutes, but Rangers and Cyril Dessers equalising on 20 minutes. A James Tavernier penalty on 26 minutes. A really controversial award according to our pundit. Seema then with a bullet header on 34 minutes. Rangers down to 10 men just in first half stoppage time. Cifuentes sent off there, and St Mirren 0, Ross County 0. Let's then get back to Willie Miller at Pittodrie. Back underway there, Willie.
Yes, we started quite early before the split there actually, and Aberdeen have started on the front foot again, and Graham Shinney makes a really positive run down the left hand side, crosses the ball into the box. Majowski at the near post, but it's really slippy out there. Players are going down, losing their footing regularly, and Majowski lost his footing and didn't get enough power, and it was an easy take for Clark in goal. So I'm sure that Barry Robson will be hoping that Aberdeen can take on the better form they were showing in the second half of the first half into this second half.
Willie, can I just ask?
Yes.
The game midweek's kind of been overlooked, given they're already out and they've got a cup final on the Sunday. Be interesting to hear your take as well, Tom. They play Eintracht Frankfurt on Thursday night. Anyone looked at their score after 75 minutes today?
I don't know, but they've asked Willie to come back and play, I think, on Thursday night, if they're not.
5-1,
so they can rest a few bodies.
Hey, they've got my number.
They're currently 5-1 up against Bayern Munich.
Wow.
Yeah,
that just shows the task that they've got. It's a really tough week for Aberdeen, of course, but it could all end so well.
How's it tough, Kenny? You've got a cup final to look forward to. That's what you want as a player. That's what you want. You want big, tough games that you can go into and get yourself tested and no excuses.
But they're going to that in dreadful form. I mean, confidence has got to be an issue, is it not,
Yeah,
Willie? Do you see that when you look at it in the park, Willie? Can you see that players are a bit edgy?
I don't know if it's edginess. I just think that, you know, when you start games, surely you want to, at home in particular, you want to try to get the crowd behind you in the first 15 minutes of this game, even up to 20 minutes when Hearts scored. Aberdeen are non-existent. You know, they don't take part, they don't contest it. They should be coming out in these games and try to dominate from the start. And then that's how you start building confidence. But they've got better, they've grown into it, and they look a threat going forward, and Hearts look like a team that are quite happy with the 1-0.
Kenny might need a little help from Leanne. There was a little opportunity, bit of a stramash in the box for St Mirren. The referee's pulling up. I think he's maybe going to have a look at VAR. What I will say before that, young Dylan Smith has had to go off. He's been replaced with Turner. He was he was really distressed, the young fella. I was quite surprised that they took I think they took too much time to take him off. The young fella was a little bit distressed, so not too sure what's happening at the moment. Are we going to VAR? Yes,
yeah,
we're going to
it's
VAR.
Going to go to VAR. I've not seen what the challenge was, Derek. I know. Is it possibly whether
is the ball over the line?
I think it might be. Yeah. I think that's what they're debating.
But if it's
might
over
get a
the
better
line,
angle. They don't have the technology though, Derek. So they're going to need to. It's over the line.
Over.
Well over. Yeah.
There you go.
They'll need to use the cameras and the different angles that they've got to get a decision on it. Looks to me, and Kenny certainly it looked quite definitively.
Kenny saying right away.
So behind the goal, the angle
wasn't a bit premature there.
All right.
Oh dear.
Well, for me, I'm sitting, you know, I wasn't sure there was a push, a shove, I wasn't sure. So because there was plenty of bodies in there.
The player reaction was pretty adamant.
Oh,
Derek, wasn't
there
it?
we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ken, you're spot on.
Thank goodness.
Off it.
Don't say it.
He's not that bad after all.
But I tell you what, Kenny, it's deserved because they had a couple of great opportunities in the first half. Kilty, but certainly Ayunga as well. Also Namani, I failed to mention it in the half-time report. He was at the angle, he was 1v1 with the keeper, but the county keeper has played really well this afternoon.
Yeah.
What a strike from Jensen there. Light Angus McDonald outside the box, 30 yards, left foot. It's going to the top
What has the
corner.
goalie done here?
What a save.
2-0 to Hibs. Venti's got it at the back post. The goalie mistimes the jump. What is... Leanne, it's up the far end for me. It just looks as if he's mistimed his jump that goes over his head.
I know.
And Venti's about an inch out and knocks it home.
The camera angle that I've got is quite almost like foggy actually. I don't know if it's the weather, but it does look at whether it's just come up off the turf. You know what the artificial grass can be like at times, but Shamal Georgie's waving his arms. I don't think he can quite believe what's happened. Well, I'll wait the replay, Alan. I'll come back to you. We're going to maybe get a look at it now actually.
Just quickly, what a miss for Dundee United. I mean, the cross from the right, volleyed by middle, and he thinks it's in, and his own player hits it over the bar. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a goal at Fir Park.
Offside.
Yeah, Stephen.
Oh, it's gone to St Johnstone. Liam Kelly, I have to say, has come under a little bit of criticism over the past couple of months for goals that have been conceded, and there's been talk of a change. Well, he's kept him in today. It's an in-swinging free kick. Liam Kelly comes out full stretch with his right hand, tries to get a touch on it, misses it completely. I think it's Liam Gordon. It may just ricochet off Liam Gordon. I'm not too sure he knows an awful lot about it. And it just trickles over the line. It's Motherwell 0, St Johnstone 1.
Open post, there's a goal! Majowski for Aberdeen. It's the equaliser. Good work down the right hand side. He makes a run across the face. The ball breaks. But fortunately for him, but he makes no mistake with the right foot. He drives it towards the back post, and it clips the inside of the back post and ends up in the back of the net to give Aberdeen.
What's the delay here? What's it for Livingston? Is it offside, the ball out?
It looks offside to me. Two players are offside. Venti, I'm not sure it was that went across the front, but the confusion is with George, and I think it's Obalai, Alan, that was at the front post. Obalai thinks the keeper's coming for it.
Well,
George thinks that Obalai's going to deal with it, and it bounces beyond the two of them and it's headed into the back of the net. But two players as the ball comes in are standing in an offside position as far as I can see.
Yeah, so just
a delay. Exactly as you said, Kenny. We're still waiting here.
Yeah, that's the problem. So just confirmation, that was a Ryan Leake own goal that puts St Mirren 1-0 up on Ross County. That coming after 51 minutes. Still
offside, no
offside,
goal.
so that's ruled out. Dylan Venty's goal is ruled out.
I've no idea why that's taken as long. I've got no idea.
Were they looking at possibly someone who was at the front post? Was it Boyle getting a flick on?
The two players.
Did they miss it completely?
Both players are in the same line. Both players were offside. So anyway.
2-0! Chris Kane could have won the game. First, and listen, I know it's only 54 minutes, but Motherwell really are struggling. Again, Motherwell cut open far too easy. Chris Kane went through him. Big save by Liam Kelly. And the first goal was a Bevis Mugabe own goal. It wasn't Liam Gordon.
Should be 2-0. Simple as Ayunga. He's clean through, but he elects to square it to Namani. And I mean, he's got the goal gaping, and he somehow hits it off one of the only defender that was standing between him and the goals. You know, pick your spot. He looked as if he just panicked a little bit. Certainly St Mirren should be 2-0 up, but what a glorious chance they've just passed up.
Yeah, some big goals there then. So St Mirren
decision for the referee to make here. Oberlai has flattened. Looks like Martin Boyle. Yellow card. Hibs fans wanted red. Ooh. Have a look at it, Leanne.
Nah, I'm seeing it there. I'm seeing it.
Heavy challenge.
Is he last defender?
They're flying. They went 2-0 up. They can't handle Ayunga this afternoon. The pace, the power, and this time the finish. You know, just absolutely thumps the ball at the keeper. This time doesn't deal with it. Deservedly so. St Mirren 2, Ross County 0.
Wow, what a 12 or 13 minutes we've had. Absolutely incredible. I'm not even a chance, Will, to talk about a really nice finish from Miovsi, and I saw him after that gesturing to fans to really get behind him there at Pittodrie.
Yeah, they've lifted the tempo. They came out the second half the way they should have started this game, Kenny. You know, taking it to the opposition. They got that goal. It was well worked. You know, and it was McGrath to set up Majovka, and he doesn't miss from that. But it's a really intelligent run from Majovka across the face of the defender. Just trying to sniff out a bit of space, and he managed to get that bit of space. And when he was set in, he drills it with the right foot in off the far post. Aberdeen have got their tails up. They needed it. You know, it's just what the fans are requiring. A bit of enthusiasm, a bit of energy, a bit of directness as well. And if they can keep that up, then they're going to cause Hearts a problem or two.
I don't know, Alan, if Oberlai is quite lucky.
Yeah,
I thought he was last player.
The Hibs fans aren't happy at all, and let me tell you, Livingston have done just the Tottenham Hotspur defending them from the free kick. They're like the whole line's 10 yards from the ball.
No, I can see it. I genuinely thought Martin Boyle with a touch, if he gets away from Oberlai, he's through and goal. I know it's still quite far out, but interesting.
So confirmation that second goal for St Mirren, as Derek was telling us, scored by Jonah Ayunga there on 56 minutes. So they look to be returning to form. Stephen Robinson's side 2-0 up at home to Ross County. Cove Rangers down to 10 men. Josh Kerr sent off on 55 minutes. Let's then get to Ibrox. What's happening, Rory?
Not a lot in terms of the on-field stuff, Jack. Butland just made a rare mistake there, passing the ball straight to Bakayoko, who couldn't control it well enough to get a shot on target. There were a couple of changes at half-time for Rangers, but there's been so much action in the second half, I've not had a chance to update. Cantwell is off, Matondo is off, Dujon Sterling is on in a midfield role, and Ross McCausland is on also. Dundee have also made a double change just there. Scott Tiffany and Charlie Riley are on. Zach Rudden is off, along with Aaron Donnelly. Not a lot to report football-wise. It's still 3-1 Rangers.
Here's a familiar phrase for you. David Bowman's just been sent off.
He's just back for suspension for that Forfar game 20 years ago.
Notch it up in our game. He's getting a 21 game ban now. I don't know what was said. He's mouthed off at Nick Wall, straight over, straight red. Yeah.
Right, let's go to Stephen Craigan. My goodness, that's a big goal there for Craig Levine's side. A real test now of the character of these Motherwell players, Stephen.
Kenny, absolutely. But I've got to say, you know, they've lacked quality this afternoon. They look a side who are a little bit timid, who are under a little bit of pressure. They're vulnerable in everything they're trying to do. And we spoke earlier about the number of poor goals they concede, not just from set plays, but from cross balls. And Tom was asking, what do you do? And Willie saying, what do you do? The one thing that's been constant is the goalkeeper, Liam Kelly. And I just wondered at some stage, may Stuart Kettlewell have made the change just to freshen things up, give a bit more of a presence of someone between the sticks to come and catch the ball and be a little bit taller. He hasn't done it this afternoon, and there's no doubt about it. Liam Kelly has made a huge mistake, and Bevis McGabry, the unfortunate recipient, bounces off him and goes in, but Motherwell have a lot to do. St Johnstone could have taken the game away from Motherwell. Chris Kane, big chance, but things have to improve quickly.
Stephen, how big a call would that be? He's a Scotland goalkeeper now, but you're right, he's not been playing well in recent weeks.
Well, you've tried everything else. You've changed everything else within your defence. You've changed to a 3, you've changed personnel, you've tried to mix things up, and nothing's worked, and you're still conceding soft goals. The only thing they haven't looked at, or certainly publicly they haven't looked at, is the goalkeeper. So you have to judge it on your job in one game. Can you make an impact? Maybe the second goalkeeper's not good enough, I don't know, but what's the point in having him as a second goalkeeper if he can't step into your team?
But Stephen, you know, I'm not saying he's great to go away with Scotland, but he must have been disappointed not to at least get one of the games when Zander Clark got both. You know, when you're looking at
possibly, but
because Liam played he started the game before that, and Xander came on at half time.
He
but
did.
You just think, you know,
but then when you come back, your form has to be good to show that, Alan. And unfortunately, you know, Simon Murray scored from 2 yards the other night, and then Liam should have done better with the third one, and he should have done better with the one today. So
see, I think it's interesting for the Scotland thing and the Euros that Craig Gordon's now back on the bench for Hearts. You would think if Craig Gordon gets back in, then Zander Clark drops out. He won't be playing for Hearts, Zander Clark, if Craig Gordon gets in.
Well, I can't imagine Zander Clark and Liam Kelly would go. I think one of those will miss out.
Euros, yeah.
I'm not too sure which one.
Speaking of the Scotland national team, Che Adams has scored for Southampton away at Watford this afternoon. They lead by 1-0. Yeah, Derek.
Yeah, it looked a nasty challenge to me, and it's. I mean, I'm thinking what Biscuit says earlier. You know, the referees, Alex Scott. You know, you can tell that the big centre back. It's big Baldwin. He does Namani. Yeah, I can tell a mile away. He's going. He gets a bit of the ball, but he's trying to hurt the opponent. It's clear to see. I mean, I just think it's poor, by the way, and he's not even going to pick up a yellow card. I think that's sometimes, like Biscuits was talking about, Alan Preston was talking about, sometimes people just don't know the game. He was getting in with intent to hurt the player. Easy.
Fairly, you look at the Rangers penalty at Livingston, the young kid going down, you can tell straight away it's not a penalty, he goes down. Yet the referee gives it, and then VAR give it as well. And then you look at the Seema push against Jamie Brandon in the cup, you can tell it's a foul. The referee, well, they call him, gives it goes to VAR, and they give it. They don't know the game, they know the rules because they've read the books, but they don't know the game. They've never played it and don't know it.
I'm just glad the players, he's okay, but he's been very fortunate.
The natives are getting a wee bit restless at Tannadice here. They're having a spell. A good opportunity there down the left hand side. It's cut back by Murphy. It falls to McGeady, and they get a block in at the right time. United here, they're on the attack again, following him. Just blocked. I mean, the amount of goal line clearances, mistakes in this game, I think because maybe the weather, the surface is incredible. How there's not been a goal, I don't know. Another chance just over. It's a good game though.
Billy, are you surprised to see Wraith Rovers riding so high at the moment?
Not really. Just with the recruitment in the summer, and then they've built momentum, haven't they? They've built momentum, and they've had that championship experience now as well. Not the team, Ian Murray as well, and they win games. And late on, that just builds everything, and there's a belief there. So I'm not surprised to see them top.
That could be an order off, is it? Beningame that's went into the challenge there. Nowhere near the ball. Players are getting involved. That is a major one. From the angle I'm looking at, that's a red card.
It doesn't look great, Willie. I wouldn't agree. Not had a great angle of it. Just seen it in real time, quite far away the camera angle. But looks like Beningame's come from almost side on. Maybe catches his player slightly high and outside of the leg. Certainly, it's all kicking off. Both Hearts and Aberdeen players have got plenty to say about it.
Couple of goals in the Championship. Inverness, Cali, Thistle have got 2-1 up away at Queen's Park. Nicola Udger with a goal there in 59 minutes, and Arbroath have equalised at home to Morton. David Gold on 61 minutes. Jim McIntyre's first game in charge of Arbroath.
We cite a goal there for Dundee.
It's a goal. United, I mean, it's mistakes. I just said that. It's an in-swinging corner. It's helped on at the front post, and it's just a stramash, and the ball's bouncing about, and I think it might be Fotheringham. It's got a final touch just to prod over the line. It's a horrible goal, not for United fans, but they're 1-0 in front.
Yeah, it's a big goal.
Just a yellow for Beningame.
Very surprised, really, that Chris Graham's not been at least offered another view of that. I can only assume that whatever the referee has described to the VAR team has been quite close to to what's actually happened, but it was naughty, Tom, wasn't it? We both looked at each other as we seen the replay coming in.
Yeah, I think he's a bit fortunate there. The Aberdeen player is clearly incensed. With a schmozzle.
It's a silly challenge, because it's just totally needless.
Save. Oh, good block as well. That's a hit from Kelly at the edge of the box. Marshall dives full left to his left-hand side, touches it wide of the target. In comes Pittman, and Obika gets back to save the day. Still 1-0 Hibs. Livy putting a bit of pressure on now.
You know what? He lost the ball. I think he was a little bit frustrated. He maybe felt that he should have had the foul for him, and he just dived into that challenge. Nowhere near the ball. No intention whatsoever of playing the ball. Just played the man. So he's very fortunate to stay on in my book.
Kelty Hearts have equalised away at Falkirk. Alfie Bavidge on 66 minutes. East Fife now 3-0 at home to Elgin City. Brogan Walls on 62 minutes. Stranraer equalised away at Clyde. James Dolan on 64 minutes, 2 apiece. Alan.
Bruce Anderson has from the resultant corner, headed over back by Oberlai, and it falls to Bruce Anderson. Doesn't get enough on it, but it was going in, and it's kicked off the line here. Still 1-0 Hibs.
Yeah, that goal, Billy, coming through. Kai Fotheringham, 63 minutes.
Yeah, it was honestly, there's been a lot of good moves and passing and playing this match. Good crosses coming in, but it was just an in-swinging corner, not dealt with. It was flicked on. Goalkeeper scrambled at the front post. I think he palmed onto the post, and he was just there for them, just to touch over the line. Doesn't matter if they're scrappy, they all count. It's such an important goal for United.
Edinburgh City 1, Stirling Albion 3. Josh Cooper in 65 minutes. What's happening?
I think it's maybe the crowd at Ibrox you can hear, Kenny, because Philip Clement's just been booked. What happened was the ball was played up to Dessers. He held the ball in really well. He got the right side of Lammy from his point of view. He pulled him back very cynically, was all over him, and somehow avoided a booking. Then it went up the other end. Barisic had the ball nicked off him. He did pretty much exactly the same thing and was shown a yellow card, much to Clement's anger, and that's why he was booked. In the meantime as well, Cameron's had a shot at goal from the edge of the box, which he should have done better with, but that's about it as it goes in terms of the football action.
Right, let's then get back to Stephen Craigan at Fir Park. It feels like a big, significant afternoon there, Stephen, the way things are developing.
Well, it's a big 24 minutes for the future of Stuart Kettlewell as Motherwell manager, you would imagine. You know, we said ahead of the game, and I said ahead of the game, I felt as if it was D-Day today. You know, there has to come a point where the club make a decision of, do they stick with him because they're not winning games? They're losing this one. St Johnstone have looked really comfortable since the goal. If anything, it looks like St Johnstone are more likely to get a second than Motherwell are to get an equaliser. But even if they get an equaliser, is a point enough? Because, you know, there has to be a change somewhere. There has to be something that the board can see and think, right, we're moving in the right direction. But today, I just think of that quality.
If they get the players to make change though, Craigs.
That's a bad tackle, sorry Leanne. Just have a little look on the edge of the box here at Ibrox. It's for Dundee, and it's difficult to say.
Sterling,
it was an outrageous tackle from Sterling. He goes flying in, wipes Cammy Kerr out. It was a really good move actually. Tavernier gets sucked into a position he doesn't want to go into. It gets headed inside, Tiffany lays it off, and he's absolutely wiped out. And it'll be interesting to see whether this goes to VAR or not, because it looked to me like it was on the line.
No, I don't think the challenge will go to VAR, but I just wondered how tight it was to actually being on the edge of the penalty area.
Just out, wasn't it? Just outside, wasn't it?
Was it outside, Tom, was it?
Look, it was close. It was close.
It's a cynical foul, right enough. Craigs, I was just going to say, the players that are missing, even if you replace Stuart Kettlewell with the likes of Lennon Miller, still without McGinn, Butcher's picked up another injury, Dan Casey's picked up another injury. I know you're speaking about the goalkeeper situation, but they've not really invested in the squad all that much.
Leanne, I was saying Aberdeen, you know, Aberdeen are quite rigid and they've signed for a certain formation. I think Stuart's done the same, just as Jai Sema just flicks one over the crossbar. Motherwell have no wingers in their squad, so they can't change to a 4-4, 4-3-3 or 4-4-2. They don't have that personnel. You're going to play people out of position. And Motherwell have been playing a 3-4-3 at times, but Theo Bear and Conor Wilkinson are wingers. That's where they're having to play in that system. So you then have to flick it back and say, why was the recruitment like that in the summer? Why did you not think, well, at some stage we may need to change and mix things up if results aren't going away? So, and there's only so many different ways you can shape up with a back three. And then do you play 4 midfield, do you play 5, do you play a diamond?
Because I think a lot of that, as you're saying though, like you play that system, a back three normally to either get your 3 best centre backs in the team, or you don't think your 2 centre backs are strong enough, so you go with 3 to actually protect one another.
Correct.
And I feel that's probably a lot of the reason why as well Liam Kelly's been left exposed this year. The amount of times the back 3 have changed, there's not really been an awful lot of consistency. You don't have your best defenders in front of you a lot of the time.
No, great.
But if you're conceding goals like the one they've conceded today, the formation doesn't matter. I mean, that is just a dreadful goal to give away.
Tom, it's individual errors, individual responsibility. Yeah. But after 13 games, you can't keep saying individual responsibility.
Yeah.
And you're saying, Leanne, well, would a new manager get a tune out of the players? Well, Derek Adams did, and Craig Levein has. And we thought those two teams looked as if they were destined to be in the bottom two. But looking at Motherwell today, they look destined to be in the bottom two. The only thing keeping them off the bottom is a poor Livingston team. So John O'Peake's coming off and Ollie Shaw's coming on. John O'Peake has never been a regular goal scorer. Ollie Shaw's not been a regular goal scorer. Theo Bair, Connor Wilkinson, that was 4 centre forwards who were brought in this summer. And between them, you'd maybe get a decent player, but individually, unfortunately, they haven't got it.
So in the Premiership, Aberdeen 1, Hearts 1, Livingston 0, Hibs 1, Motherwell 0, St Johnstone 1, Rangers 3, Dundee 1, Rangers down to 10 men, St Mirren 2, Ross County 0. In the Championship, Airdrie 0, Dunfermline 1, Arbroath 1, Morton 1, Dundee United 1, Ayr United 0, Queen's Park 1, Inverness, Cally Thistle 2. In League 1, Alloa Athletic 0, Hamilton Accies 0, Annan Athletic 1, Cove Rangers 2, Cove down to 10 men, Edinburgh City 1, Stirling Albion 3, Falkirk 1, Kelty Hearts 1, Montrose 0.
What a save that is from Marshall!
Yes, Alan.
Unbelievable. Wait till you see this. I think it hits him. He makes himself big. As Bruce Anderson with the shot, Marshall comes out. That is a brilliant save by the keeper. Certain goal. What a save.
Brilliant. Yeah, makes himself massive. Just spreads himself really well, Alan. Don't know if it actually comes off his body or whether he gets his left arm maybe to it.
He was like down a little bit of pain, so it might have been off his body. Livingston are piling on the pressure. But what a save. He's had a really good few days, Marshall.
In League 2, Bonnyrigg 1, Peterhead 1, Clyde 2, Stranraer 2, Dumbarton 0, Stenhousemuir 0, East Fife 3, Elgin City 0, and the Spartans, a goal is coming through there saying they're going ahead. No goal scorer yet. Gone ahead at home to Forfar there. And in England, it finished at lunchtime. Crystal Palace 1, Liverpool 2, Brighton 0, Burnley 1, the latest score. Man United 0, Bournemouth 2. That's coming through, not confirmation yet, but Bournemouth went ahead early on there. The problems continue for Eric Ten Hag. Sheffield United 1, Brentford 0, Wolves 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Yes.
It's a goal. Yeah, it's a goal for Dunfermline. It's a second. I feel sorry for Airdrie. They've been pound forward time after time. It's Craig Whiten with the finish. Great break down the left-hand side. Ball squared. Whiten opens the foot and just puts it beyond the Airdrie goalkeeper, Josh Ray. Airdrie have made the changes. They brought on Callum Gallagher to try and get a goal. Josh O'Connor as well. Todorov and Fazell went off. And they've been all over Dunfermline actually, but they've been caught in the counter. It's 2-0 to the Pars, and surely all 3 points are heading back to Fife. It is Airdrie 0, Dunfermline 2.
Graham Kerry's just hit the crossbar 25 yards out, and I normally put my mic down as the game's going. I picked it up. I thought he's got a good left foot on him. He's got a real good strike. Liam Kelly was stranded, crashed off the crossbar. Motherwell still alive, but St Johnstone winning 1-0.
Confirmation, a couple of goals coming through. That goal for Spartans, Blair Henderson, 72 minutes, 1-0 at home to Forfar, and Philip Billing with a goal in 68 minutes as Bournemouth 2-0 up away at Manchester United. Let's then get back.
He's got to go.
Yeah.
Get that guy out, the Man United manager. Go ball.
What are you talking about? I thought it was someone in the ground.
Honestly, the amount he spent millions.
I thought it was a streaker.
He spent absolutely millions, Tom.
You must have had a home win in your cupping.
Yes, no, I didn't, but they're just to watch where they've come from. Sir Alec Ferguson was in charge of them. We watched them now. It's shocking.
The management of the I'm not talking about necessarily the manager. Or the manager doesn't look to be great at the moment. But anybody who goes into that club becomes a lesser version of themselves. Whether it's players or whether it's the club. It's something about the way that club is operating and has been since Ferguson left. That's just completely wrong.
I just want to quickly, Leanne, just bring this up. I want to get your thoughts on it. It's been all over social media. It's a big story. The comments of Joey Barton. You're smiling this week on his annoyance, his anger at female pundits being involved, commenting on the men's game. When you sit and read that, what are you thinking?
Look, it's his. If that's Joey Barton's if that's his opinion and that's genuinely what he believes, then he's entitled to it. But I don't see that. I've read a few of the comments, and the comments for me are more about poor punditry. So I'm not entirely sure you can pin that on gender, if I'm being perfectly honest. So that for me is a bigger concern, that's what his angle is.
Sport, he was saying you're not qualified to speak
for
at a
me,
game.
It was a tough afternoon. Like, I had a choice between finishing the knitting that I had started or coming in here and watching these games, but I thought, look at the goals that we've been treated to, so I'll pick it up when I get back home.
His original comment before he descended into this panto version.
Yeah.
He said that the female commentator on a Premier League game had made a mistake, and then you look back at what she actually said. She was 100% right. Barton was wrong. Yeah. She was right. But I don't know if he's doing this for a dare. I don't know if he's at it. If he's
not, he's bringing out a podcast.
Look,
but if he's not, I mean, he's to be pitied. If he's being serious,
let's be honest.
If he's being serious, he's to be pitied.
I know.
The best reaction I saw to it was Emma Hayes. She gave a brilliant answer. I saw that on social media last night.
Her answer was very good, and the thing is, there was a historical tweet that somebody had put up that Joey Barton had been speaking about. Saying how brilliant she was, and that he would love to see her crossing over into the men's game, and that she was capable of doing that. So I don't think his opinion's been consistent over the years. Quite clearly it's not, but it is damaging. It's damaging for a lot of people, that's what I would say. But genuinely, if it's his opinion and he believes that, he's quite entitled to it. It's just a shame that he's gone about it in the manner in which he has. And look, I was watching a Premier League game through the week, and what the co-commentator was adamant that a goalkeeper should have picked up a pass back. Now, for me, it's a mistake. It's a mistake in terms of the commentary.
Yeah.
But the reality is, see if it was a female co-commentator that made that comment, there would be a huge hysteria around it. So the thing for me, just it's really sad that it goes back to gender all the time, because for me that I don't have an inferiority complex when I sit here. It doesn't bother me.
I haven't noticed one, no.
Football's
you hold your own, it's fair to say.
But you look at what he's saying, and people probably really shouldn't look at what he's saying. It's just complete gobbledygook. It's there to cause maximum upset, and he's just ignorant. I mean, he's just ignorant. I mean, this is a guy who's had to do community service for various issues he's landed up in court. I don't know why anyone has listened to this guy. I mean, he's just a bit of a clown.
Right, the goals are flying in. Falkirk have gone back ahead at home to Kelty Hearts. Ross McKeever on 76 minutes. And David Witherspoon, what a signing he's been for Cali Thistle. Queen's Park 1, Inverness, Cali Thistle 3. That goal on 75 minutes. Brighton have equalised at home to Burnley. Simon Adinga with a goal on 77 minutes. Let's get back round the grounds. Let's get back to Willie Miller at Pittodrie. What's happening, Willie?
Yeah, bad news for Majowski. He's had to go off. He did walk off. He went down. It was obviously an injury. A physio came on and signalled that he had to go off, but he managed to walk off, obviously, with a cup final looming next week. That's a huge blow for Aberdeen, but much better Aberdeen in the second half. Just simple, straightforward football. Showing energy, showing desire, all these words that you use that makes a good team, makes a great team. In fact, you need the skill, yes, you need the ability, but there's more than that you need, and Aberdeen have certainly shown that the second half of the first half and all of the second half. They've had Sockler who hit a strike from a tight angle that went into the side net. McGrath had a curler that just went by the far post, and Hearts are now getting pinned back. It's about what Aberdeen are doing with that energy, with that desire, with that drive. So, if anybody's going to score, and I know that's a dangerous thing to say, but at this moment in time, it's looking like Aberdeen. Hearts, I think, will be quite happy to get away with a draw.
Just saw one of the sprightly, Willie. I was a wee bit worried for you in the last few weeks. You're like Captain Pugwash. Now you're better, you're back to yourself.
Kenny, I've just saw one of the best saves of the season. Samuel has just come on as sub for County. It's a great ball in, but what a header. And I tell you what, I've got a great view. It should be in the back of the net. Somehow Hemming's got to it. I don't know if you maybe see a replay. It's absolutely top draw.
You'll keep an eye out for that. That'll be in Sports Team this evening, no doubt.
St Mirren have changed their front two as well. Ayunga and Namani, who have been absolutely brilliant this afternoon, have been replaced with Elizania and Mandron. So still a handful, those two up top, but I think that's been the difference today. I think that pairing up top for St Mirren has really worked well.
Manchester United now 3-0 down at home to Bournemouth. Marcus Senesi with a goal there in 73 minutes. Cove Rangers, that's a hat-trick for Ruben Burrell, 77 minutes, and in one, Cove Rangers 3. Let's get back to Ibrox. I think I saw Cyril Dessers going off there. How's he performed this afternoon, Rory?
Out with his goal, not very well. I mean, just as you come to me, I want to talk about Dundee a little bit, Kenny, because Dundee have been excellent in the last 10-15 minutes. Down to 10 men, Rangers. Dundee have managed to move the ball from side to side, get various balls into the box. Their corner count went up and up and up, and they've got another one now. It was actually a real goal-saving tackle by, I think it was John Souttar, who managed to clear it over the bar. That being said, they've had opportunities, so have Rangers. Seaman's missed a one-on-one. Dessers nicks the ball, Shaughnessy passes it straight to him. Now, if you picture coming in from the left-hand side, he's right-footed. You're thinking, open up your body. It wasn't dissimilar to Camden's chance in the first half. He wants to chop again, the chance is gone, and then he's moaning that his shirt's been pulled. Then he gets the ball again, he drives into the box, takes a heavy touch inside, and the ball's cleared. You know, he's had wee moments. He had a nice back heel in the first half, and he scored his goal. Other than that, I don't think he's done enough. But he did get a good ovation when he went off. Roof is now on, and Clement had a word in his ear for about 30 seconds or so, geeing him up, and I think he's getting behind him a little bit, which was a nice moment to see, I suppose, for a player who's obviously lacking confidence. But Dessers, not enough for me again, just out with the goal, Kenny.
Yeah, you just wonder, Tom, how he turns that around. The fans, I'm not saying they turned against him, but he's had a tough time from them on many occasions this season.
Yeah, I mean, what has he got? Is it 7 goals or something? Which is, it's not a bad total, is it? 7, it's all right. But you need more at Rangers. He's missed a number of chances, good chances, that he wouldn't be alone in that. And it becomes harder and harder. The more he misses, the more the fans get in his back, and it's a vicious circle.
Yeah, we spoke last week as well, Tom, about how we look at things, whether it's stat based or whether it's on the eye, and you're absolutely right. 7 goals isn't bad, but I think having watched him a few times now, it's just that little bit of quality that you think he's missing.
Rory, the fans have not turned on him. What they've realised, he's not good enough to be a Rangers number 9.
I got a great ovation as well, whether that was for Roof coming on or Dessers going off. It's difficult to say.
The one thing about Dessers, he works away, he gives you the effort, but the quality is clear to see. It's not there.
Billy Mackay has got a 4 for Inverness Cali Thistle. That coming on 80 minutes. Queen's Park 1. They've been in a dreadful run of form. Inverness Cali Thistle 4. And Morton back in front away at Arbroath. George Oakley with a goal there on 79 minutes. Alan Preston, what's happening to you again?
Livy are shouting for a penalty as we speak. It was a corner's come in. It was headed. They're shouting for a penalty kick at the back post. There's a lot of bodies in the box. I didn't think so, but we'll have to wait and see. And as we say that, Johan breaks away. He's got electric pace. He's got Boyle up with him if he can square it. He can. Right across the goal. Goes out. Livingston have done really well in the second half. It's been a back-to-the-wall performance for Hibs. They've had Marshall to thank for a really good save from Anderson. But, Hibs are still leading 1-0.
Off the line there. I think it was Seema again. Had the head on the Dundee defender. Clears it off the line. And there's a head knock now. Seema's down, injured. Looks a sore one.
Head knock at your game as well, Willie.
There is,
an elbow it was, I think. Kai Rowles, caught him, but I've just looked and Rowles is already on a yellow card, so
I thought he had won the ball. Did he win the header, Leanne? I thought he won the header. I didn't see the elbow coming in.
Then he's drew blood as well.
Garterman that's down, the centre back. So
I'll get another look at it, but did just look. There was one in one of the earlier games, that's why I thought he's probably going to get a yellow, but I've just looked and seen he was already on the yellow, so whether they would look at it again or not.
Time will tell.
Little chance for Theo Bear there. Kenny, Stuart Kettlewell made a couple of substitutions. Connor Wilkinson and Theo Bear on. Now, Connor Wilkinson was signed as the centre forward. He's played wide left, wide right. He's played centre forward. He's now playing centre midfield. So maybe that's due to desperate times that there are a lot of midfield players injured at the club and they can't get anyone else in at this moment in time. So they're having to adapt with what they have. But he had a header 8 or 10 yards from goal. He's been a bit of a bright spark since he came on. But I have to say it's very flat around Fir Park.
I'm just going to ask you that, Stephen.
Very flat.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not even frustration or anger. It's just flat.
Acceptance.
Yeah. And I have to say, I can't even get excited by someone maybe having a chance. There's just no enthusiasm coming from the stands and from myself, from the team. There's just it's not working, unfortunately, at this moment in time. And it's if they can get something from here, which they have done against Dundee, they have done against Celtic, they have done against Ross County, it would maybe be a point they probably don't deserve, because if St Johnstone can get this over the line, it could be the easiest 3 points they ever get at Fir Park.
Michael Stewart's probably in the car, Tom driving through for the 5:30 segment. My goodness, Craig Levine, it's a terrific job he's doing, isn't it?
Absolutely, I'm sure Michael will echo those sentiments.
He's got to at some point. Maybe tonight's the night.
We should get up a Craig Levine t-shirt and get Mikey to wear it in the studio whenever St Johnstone win.
But there's some turnaround, hasn't it?
He's relaxed in every way, even his gear, even the gear he wears.
Oh, don't describe that to us. I've seen it in the studio.
Is that what you're describing that as relaxed, Derek?
Relaxed.
There's a few other words I could come up with.
Relaxed, but maybe not relaxing for us in terms of. But I tell you what, the old khaki gear it is.
He's not got the light chinos on the day, has he? Reading like that out there.
So, I mean, not that I want to speak, but you know, sartorially, Craig, there are some issues there. we were at Hampden with him in the afternoon, and then after Hampden he went to St Johnstone, and it was that Sunday night, that he was announced as the new St Johnstone manager. He didn't even change his jumper.
Brilliant. All right, Giorgio Armani, calm down.
Who's the sharpest dresser in town? We're getting Derek McInnes. Is he the sharp
Derek
one?
is.
He's the leader, isn't he?
He's a film star.
It's easy. Top wrote that song about Derek McInnes. Sharp dress man.
Brendan's the same. Brendan is never in a tracksuit.
No, that's
Brendan's
true.
never in a tracksuit.
I tell you what, Kenny, see, when we talk about Craig Levine, I mean, see, when I used to see him in front of the camera, up until now, you know, it didn't come across great. But see, when I knew him at Hearts, you know, and away from the games and that, he was a brilliant laugh. I always enjoyed his company. I thought he was a great laugh, and people never always kind of looked at me, gave me a strange look when I said that about Craig Levine. But it was, I don't know, what was your take, Biscuits?
The same. A good teammate, good person to have around. Great fun, yeah.
We've definitely seen a change in him when he's been here doing punditry work, from what you experience interviewing him on the touchline. Obviously, a lot more relaxed. Stennismuir 1-0 up away at Dumbarton. James Berry with a goal there on 87 minutes. Let's get back into the Championship, and Dundee United on course for a vital 3 points.
Duke! Oh, what a strike from Duke.
Yes, Willie?
No, Duke, Aberdeen pushing for the winner. There's no doubt about that. It's beginning to get a bit open as well, and Hearts hitting on the break too, but Aberdeen are definitely the more forceful, and Duke came on as a substitute, had the opportunity there from outside the box, but it's just too straight a strike. He gets plenty of power behind it, but it's an easy take for Xander Clark and goal. It's been a really entertaining, open game second half. I think the fans are enjoying, both sets of fans are enjoying what they're seeing, but in particular the Aberdeen fans, they've had the ascendancy.
East Fife fans will be happy. Scott Shepherd has them 4-0 up at home to Elgin City. What's happening then at Tannadice, Billy?
Yeah, very much the same. United have made a few changes. Amati coming on, Rose coming on, trying to bring strikers on to change the game, but it's not looking likely so far. They can't force any efforts in goal. That's Ayr United. Dundee United just try to see this one out, and when they get the odd opportunity, in Middleton had a great chance here and it was blocked, but still the same, still 1-0 United. Dundee United, I keep having to say that's a battle of United's today, so still 1-0 Dundee United.
About that stage in the season yet, or the year, when we could say it's an early Christmas present when somebody makes a mistake?
Nah, it's never too late. I'll go for Al.
All right, okay, no worries.
You'll be buying your Easter eggs.
Could be a big result, Kenny, at the bottom of the Championship as well. Green at Morton, 2-1 up against Arbroath.
Yeah, I mean,
a result that Dougie Imrie, I think, needs as well this afternoon.
Ooh. Yeah, and you look at Queen's Park, who've really been struggling as well. Leanne, you have Arbroath down there. So looking at the live table, Ayr United 14, Queen's Park 13, Arbroath 12, Morton 11. They are 2-1 up away at Arbroath. Jim McIntyre's first game in charge. Let's stay in the Championship. The Wayside still in control. And Airdrie, Chick.
Yeah, they are. I do feel sorry for Airdrie actually, because they played some really good football. They were a lot of pressure. Dunfermline have managed the game. They were 1-0 ahead, remember, in the first half with the goal from Edwards. The second goal, Matty Todd's effort, just sealed the points. It was on the break because Airdrie were all over Dunfermline. Just couldn't get the ball in the net. There have been opportunities. Nemitz just tipped a Gallagher header over the over the bar for a corner. Here's a chance for Airdrie. Up past the post again. And McStravick had a shot as well over the crossbar. They've tried everything. They just can't get the ball in the net. And there's no doubt in my mind that all 3 points are heading back to Fife. It is at the moment. Airdrie 0, Dunfermline 2.
Got a bit quiet at Ibrox, Rory Loy.
Yeah, it has. The most action is down the touchline, Clement. A Rangers player fouled I think it was Lyle Cameron, who went down under pressure. I think it was Seema. It was a foul, and he's gone off his head and kicking water bottles and all the rest of it. He's already been booked, so you need to be a bit careful. But there have been chances. Dundee haven't been quite as good the last 10 minutes or so since you last came to me. Time's running out for them. It's ticking away. They're going to need to try and get a goal soon if they are to try and get back into it. But Rangers pretty comfortable, and some of their own doing, Dundee. But Rangers have had chances in this second half as well. But still 3-1.
Right, let's get back to Willie Miller, the home side, pushing for a winner there, Willie.
Oh, they certainly are. They are going for it just almost on the 89 minutes we've played here. It's maybe not the most beautiful football that I've ever witnessed, but it's effective. The conditions are dreadful. The pitch is actually beginning to carry a bit of water on it as well. You can see the spray coming up for the ball as they're passing along the ground, so it's been like that all afternoon. But the second half, I'm sure will send Barry Robson, whether they manage to get that winner or not. Certainly the performance will have pleased them from halfway through the first half, and they've pushed hard enough. They've had little half chances. Sokol has been close. McGrath as well had a good effort, so they're pushing hard for it, Kenny, but nothing yet. Still 1-1.
Very little Stephen Craig in for the home fans to get excited about at Fir Park this afternoon.
Kenny, you're spot on. I mean, Motherwell have never really threatened to get back level in this game, and I look at it and think, have they deserved to win the game? Probably not. Have they deserved to lose it? I'm not so sure. It was an individual error. However, there's been far too many of those games over the past 13 it's going to be now where you think they haven't maybe done enough to win, but they end up losing the game. So it's just something that's ingrained in this squad and in this group of players, and they can't seem to shake it off. But yeah, there's a real lack of enthusiasm and energy from everyone surrounding it. And I feel for Stuart, because he speaks about the hours he puts in, and he speaks about the effort, and the detail and everything goes through. And his players speak about liking him and enjoying working with him. Well, their performance haven't reflected that. And it was interesting with about 10 minutes ago, the acting CEO Derek Weir left the building, so it'll be interesting to see if Jim McMahon has a decision to make tonight, the chairman.
Not a chance for Aberdeen, Kenny.
Yep.
Morris down the right hand side, brilliant wing play, hits the byline, puts the cross in. Duke at the near post, glancing header, tries to find the far corner with it, just agonisingly for him, slides by that far post. They've certainly pushed for it this afternoon. 8 minutes time added on here as well.
You just fear for Stuart Kettlewell, don't you, this evening, mate? Stephen said that before the game. He felt this could be the day if they didn't get the points.
Yeah, interested to hear Stephen just kind of capturing the mood.
Guess what, guys? It's not over. Make a breath. What a header. Theo Bear. I'm actually excited. Can you hear me? Down the left-hand side, Theo Bear. Wonderful cross with his left foot.
Duke's away. It's got to be. It is. It's Lane Clarkson, who follows up to slot the ball home. Duke's pace, absolutely electric. Down that right-hand side, showed everybody a clean pair of heels, slotted it across the face of the goal, and there was Clarkson just to tap it in.
Wow, couple of lifelines this afternoon.
That's incredible drama.
Kenny, you need a result. What did I tell you? You need a result.
You have been premature all day.
Yeah, right.
Tell you what, the Motherwell goal, top drawer, delivery, brilliant, header, fantastic.
But it tells you where Motherwell are, where they're relying on a 20-year-old loanee. One, probably to keep the manager in the job, and two, to try and keep the club in the top flight. A 20-year-old striker. But I mean, he's been quiet,
he's been good though. Is that his sixth goal in the league?
I think 6 goals, 7 starts in the league.
20-year-old striker who I think is a top player in the making. This kid I think is really, really good. And Celtic and Rangers, they both say they're both looking for a striker. Beereth, I know it might cost a few quid to get him.
Well, the thing is, he's not going to play at Arsenal, Tom, is he? He's not going to play at Arsenal, so this is This is his shot window to come and show what he can do.
Yeah.
And he's been absolutely, he's been the shining light. He's been quiet at times this afternoon, but he's got that instinct at the centre forward.
He's got a bit of class.
He finds himself in the right place at the right time.
And the Aberdeen goal, Willie, back to front, really effective, direct, good ball down the channel. Duke bullies the two Hearts players, gets his nose in front, nice ball across.
What about the pace of Duke?
Fantastic, yeah.
If
really
only
good.
Hearts had someone like him.
Couldn't get a game, Willie. No, you can't get a game for Aberdeen.
Listen,
he's got splinters on his backside this season.
But listen, what a fantastic, well, I'm not going to say a result, but so far so good. 92nd minute for Barry Robson.
This is history repeating itself. I mean, it's ridiculous. That stat, which I still can't quite... Aberdeen have won 7 league games in a row against Hearts at Pittodrie. Is it now 8?
I said to Willie last night, Tom, I said the very thing to Willie. I said to him last night that, you know, if you're needing somebody to play against at Pittodrie, it's Hearts.
Yeah, amazing.
Wow, two
but even
very
then,
big moments.
Hearts have got 15 goals in 16 games. Hearts fans were promised attacking football here.
Well,
under the new manager.
Well, there's a big question to be asked about Hearts. You're right, Alan. You know,
late drama here, Kenny. It's a penalty kick. The Airdrie have a penalty kick. We're well into the 90 minutes. Remember, they're trailing by 2-0. And way up the other end of the stadium, we're just settling out who's going to take this. There's a bit of a debate over it at the moment, but it is a penalty to Airdrie to get themselves, well,
yeah,
I think it'll just be consolation.
Kenny, a lot of excitement, so I'll just calm it down. Good afternoon's work for St Mirren's. Finished St Mirren 2, Ross County 0. Well done.
Yeah, back on track, no doubt about that. A comfortable win for them this afternoon, just after 10 days or so ago, after losing up there in Dingwall by 1-0. So big moments now coming up for several teams this afternoon, Tom.
You betcha. I mean,
full time, Motherwell 1, St Johnstone 1, sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's big. That's big for Motherwell. I mean, that little flurry. We had a flurry between the 53rd and the 56th minute.
That penalty has been scored, Tom. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's a goal for. It's a goal for Airdrie. Callum Gallagher with the penalty. He came on as a sub. Maybe Rhys McKay might regret not starting him this afternoon, but he scored the penalty. We're still playing. It's now Airdrie 1, Dunfermline 2.
Yeah, I was the same. You know, we'd goals early on in the second half. Then we'd nothing. The afternoon looked like it was going to peter out into a quiet finish. And then the two, in inverted commas, crisis managers. They're two. I mean, it's just
it's remarkable
brilliant stuff. It's great little plot twist.
Speaking of crisis managers, Bournemouth now 4-0 at Man United.
What a miss! Or is that I think it's a save in the end. It's a ball played over the top. He's on there, the big striker for Livingston. Leanne, you need to tell me what's happened. Has it been blocked from someone? Brilliant touch. He takes it out the air. Sangari
I don't know who gets the final touch
does it
on
hit in the end? Oh!
Get a better angle here, Alan.
Have a look at the effort at Ibrox as well, Leanne. Still in, cut into the right-hand side and bent one.
Shot.
Yeah, great effort. Ricochets back off the post, Tom. Fantastic effort from Stirling.
Marshall, it might be. It's Marshall. Yeah, I think the right hand.
Got his body in it.
Yeah.
Great save again from him.
Another good intervention from Marshall.
Brilliant save.
Will they feel hard done by this afternoon, the home side, Al?
I think Hibs have contained them quite comfortably. Livingston have put on a bit of pressure, not enough. Hibs have had Marshall to thank for a couple of really good
came off a Hibs defender.
Hang on a second. Let's have another look at that.
Penalty.
Let's have another look at that.
Very, very interesting, because the other angle that we've seen from behind the goal, you couldn't see it, but the one that we've just seen side on looks like it could actually have come off. They're giving us Hanlon as the pictures just now. I just wonder if he's turned his back on it.
Isn't it?
Full time at Tannadice, a vital win, and they were hanging on for Dundee United. It's Dundee United 1, United 0. They go back to the top of the championship.
Talk about lifelines. This will be another one.
What do you think?
We've not seen it again, Alan, but it certainly looks to me as if they're checking a possible penalty. And if it is, it'll be a handball in terms of the block.
I thought you're saying it was Marshall that saved it, because there was a lot of bodies. It was a brilliant touch from Sangari out there. It's fallen over his shoulder.
They're
he brings
now
it
getting
down.
a picture that Sangari could have just been marginally offside as the ball's played, so they're probably getting a look at that first. Oh, it comes off Hanlon's hand.
It's not the goalie at all.
Comes off Hanlon's hand. If Sangari is onside, it will be a penalty kick.
Well, Hanlon's over at the referee just now.
Full time at Airdrie 2-1.
He's going to have a look. The referee's coming to have a look over here.
Sangari must be onside.
Sangari must be onside. It looks like Hanlon has gone over to the referee, and he's now There's no dispute between the players, but Devlin and Hanlon are having a discussion
if
here.
it's a handball, you could see Hanlon walk, to be fair, because he's denied an obvious goal scoring opportunity, so it could be a red card as well, because the shot's on target.
Just incredible late drama this afternoon. You know,
brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It was worth leaving the net
and
at
again,
home.
you're talking about lifelines for managers. With Davy here as well. No,
it's massive. It's massive, Alan.
What's our chance?
See that, Tom? See the picture that we're getting there?
Yeah.
Offside, possible offside.
Offside. It's offside. That's what it is. He's gone and had a look, and it's offside.
Why has it brought the referee to decide if it was offside?
Yeah. I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
That'll be such a relief, because they went through a wee spell of losing late goals, didn't they, Hibs? You know, that'll be such a relief. The manager spoke about that a few weeks ago. I certainly saw it happen at St Mirren, the 3-away lead at midweek night.
That's again confusing for everyone here. Why did they ask the referee to go and have a look for offside? You're either offside or you're not.
Yeah, and the only reason it would be an interference to your interpretation as a striker interfered with play, but that's not a scenario that you would be looking at.
No.
That's bizarre.
Really interesting to hear both managers on that tonight, and my goodness, it's been such an eventful afternoon across Scotland. Late goals. Willie Miller deep.
That's it. Kenny. That's it. You can hear by the noise in the background that's the final whistle, and Aberdeen take the victory, a deserved victory. Absolutely. Second half, much better performance. So Aberdeen take this coming from behind 2-1.
A huge occasion for Barry Robson and these Aberdeen fans out again in their numbers this afternoon. We'll have some Aberdeen fans join us from 5:30. Fans of lots of clubs joining us. So many talking about so much late drama on Sports Sound this afternoon. So what, just 2 games remaining? I think you're still playing at Ibrox, Rory?
Yeah, we are. The game's just kind of petering out, although Luke McCowan did smash into Borna Barisic on the left-hand side and was booked quite rightly for it. But yeah, the game's just kind of petered out. Dundee did have their moments midway through the second half. Rangers managed to cope with it, and Rangers have had their opportunities well and spurned anything they've had, which is why we remain at the same scoreline we had at half-time, which is Rangers 3, Dundee 1.
Full-time, Wolves 1, Nottingham Forest 1. That 4th goal for Bournemouth must have been chopped off, but regardless, Manchester United 0, Bournemouth. There could have been a story down there this evening. Could there be? I mean, my goodness, the players he's had to deal with.
Trafford as well.
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine the atmosphere's like there tonight. That's just checking any Sheffield United, a big win for them. Of course, they sacked their manager Paul Hickham and Chris Wilder in charge. They're off to a winning start.
That's full time at Ibrox, Kenny. 3-1.
3-1, a comfortable home win there. Certainly a controversial penalty awarded to Rangers. Tavernier tucked it away in 26 minutes. Bakayoko actually Dundee ahead on 3. Cyril Dessers on 20 minutes. Tavernier penalty 26. Sima a bullet header on 34 minutes. Cifuentes sent off in first half stoppage time, but a comfortable win there for Philippe Clon. He was very animated, you'd have to say, on the touchline this afternoon. My goodness.
Full time at Livingston. Livingston 0, Hibernian 1.
Yeah, big goal there, and I'll tell you what, a bullet hit. You know, something you just love. See when a header is connected with. See that one at Fir Park? My goodness. I mean, Seamus was good, but BRS was absolutely bulleted,
fantastic.
wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
So good, but it was all in the quality, the delivery as well. Spot on. Same force and intensity and power in the cross, and he met it spot on with the head.
Brighton 1, Burnley 1, the home side coming from behind down there, and I gave you Wolves 1, Nottingham Forest 1. Some more full times just filtering through to us on Sports Sound this afternoon. Airdrie 1, Dunfermline 2, as Chick was telling us. Callum Gallagher with a late penalty there, but Dunfermline were cruising at 2-1 up, and a big win for Dundee United. A narrow win, 1-0 over Ayr United. That after the incredible drama at Starks Park on the BBC Scotland channel last night. So lots more reaction to come on Sports, and we've got another 2 hours to go, so stay with us. We're back right after the BBC Radio Scotland news at 5 o'clock.
On digital